Welcome to Coach Hayes Football Live. He can talk about anything from high school to the pros. This guy knows the game, so you better not be half-stepping.
I can guarantee you most of the audience is going to agree with me before they agree with you.
Strap in, because Coach Hayes is about to
crack your cranium and fertilize your brain. Go ahead and right here, right now.
Subscribe now and check out CoachHayesFootball.com.
What's up, everybody? We in the building tonight, man. Let me know everything looks good, sounds good before we get rocking and rolling. So I know I'm not talking to cyberspace, man. I ain't talking to anybody. LV already in the building waving. How you doing, LV? LV is in the building tonight. The producer, Ellen MVP. She's the real MVP in the building, man. Appreciate you. There we go, LV. Oh, the coat going to be real hot today. Well, guess what? They're going to have to be hot. It is what it is. Mad Skills in the building with the thumbs up. Appreciate you. FPSD. It's Colorado Day. Let's go. Juan in the building. Coach Hayes, the Canes are smoking. 2 recruits in 1 day. Best health to Prime. Hope he's ready to be on the sideline. Yeah, shout out to him. We're going to talk about that here in a second, but I got a special guest coming right after this intro and let a few people pop through. Mad Skills, sup, Coach? Fire Marshal Hayes. I was waiting for somebody to say it. Y'all know I typically wear hats, but y'all know I moved. I found this hat in a box, and I told the guy who gave it to me at a Canes game, happened to be big fan. He gave me this hat, and he said, Coach, wear it on the show. I apologize. I'm probably about a year late, but I found it. I want to give straight love to the Miami-Dade Fire Department. So I'm wearing my hat, man. Made it happen, man. All right. Here we go. Coach T's well, Deion, and what's good, Coach? All right, we good. Jay Shaw done spilled the beans. So with that being said, Hayes signed to Offscript? Question mark? Come on, man. You know where I'm working now. I'm signed to Offscript. I love that, man. That sounds like a thing. But anyway, my special guest today is my man Scotty from Offscript in the building. So I just want to clap it up to him. If you don't know who he is, I'm going to let him introduce himself because I don't want to jack it up for him because I know he's done way more than what I could definitely talk about. So y'all clap it up for my man Scotty in the building, man.
What's good, Coach? I asked my wife to bring me some water, and she done brought me. Now I'm a Michigan fan. That's dog. You know how disrespectful. That's you know. You
Hold
see
up.
what I'm saying?
Hold up. It's not only disrespectful to you. It's disrespectful to me. Because remember how they did my Canes.
Oh yeah. That's crazy.
All I can say is thanks, Miss Offscript. Appreciate it.
That's crazy work right now. That's crazy work.
As Mad Skills say, diabolical. That is diabolical.
That is diabolical. I got to change cups.
Now, look at the producer. I want to show you how fast my producer is. She already got the link in there. So if y'all happen to be on my side, we simulcasting this at the same time. So Scotty got his up. I got mine up. But if you happen to be on my channel, please go over to Offscript, click the link, and go ahead and hit the like, share, and subscribe button. I'm going to do a baby intro, and I'm going to let you run it, Scotty.
All right.
I ran into Scotty, man. Really, when Coach Prime left from Jackson State going to Colorado, you know, on YouTube, everybody algorithm is on fire. And I'm listening to this brother doing a lot of HBCU content. Y'all know that I'm an HBCU grad, my beloved Hampton University, home by the sea. And I'm listening to this dude talk. He off script for real. So, I mean, listen, y'all know me. I got the famous slap button, but he known for that what button? Oh, that boy just busting caps at people, man. And so I really enjoy this content, man. We've talked before. I think I've been on the show before, but vice versa, whatever. But we've always had a great relationship, and I always give him praise on my channel because I said nobody ever helped me learning how to do this YouTube thing except one person. I always say Scotty from Offscript, and he is the reason. You can put a face to it now, guy. Wow, we got a phone number here on Coach Hayes Football. So y'all clap it up for Scotty. Spreading the love, man, paying it forward. So with all that being said, I know I missed a lot, man. Scotty, talk to us, man. What's going on there? We're going to jump right into this content.
Man, listen, I just appreciate Coach Hayes opening up his platform to me. Like he said, we partnered up a few times and we never looked back. I love his insight when it comes to football. And we talk prime stuff offline a lot. Yeah, a lot, you know what I'm saying? But guys, if you want to catch me, listen, I talk HBCU, I talk football, I talk whatever it is, whatever's hot in the topics, you know what I'm saying? Primarily HBCU.
The bad boys are on at the same time.
Shout out to Big Tiger.
Big Tiger for the $2. Scotty, that's something new too, man. When they do super chat, it just start reading it. I don't know how to cut that off or on. I don't know if I've been hacked, but so we get super chats, they're gonna just start reading. So I just learned to be quiet, let it finish. It's all love.
Get your money. Shout out to Big Tiger. But man, listen, it's
Big Tiger in the building.
Appreciate to Ellen. You know, if you guys want to follow me and go on my channel, check out what I talk about. Listen, it's HBCU, but it's very entertaining. I will say that I keep it very. I keep it lit. I keep it lit. That's what I do. I like to have fun. So, but you know me. Listen, anytime you talk about time, I'm ready. Now I'm gonna keep it up with you.
Hold on, Scotty. You can't just skip over what you just did, bro.
What?
I thought I was famous for the soundboard because you know me. I'm
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
You know what I'm saying? And for them old school heads, be always talking about.
You better not shut my mouth either.
Uh-oh, what happened? LV for another $199. You better not shut my mouth either. I guess I ain't gonna mess with you, but I'll say this. You know, them old school cats always come in, you know, hey, back in my day, you know what I play for them?
Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid again.
Don't nobody want to hear that old school stuff, man. We were the old one came, whatever. That's back in the day. But anyway, go ahead, Scotty, man. That's all right.
Listen, I got some soundboard stuff too. So when Jackson State was going through their freaky president incident, right? Because the president was messing with the students, boys on boys. Oh yeah. It was crazy.
Boys on boys.
Boys on boys. Boys on boys. Men on men. All right. Sausage fest, right? I had to hit him with that. And I can be a freak until the day, until the day. And we can up through the night to the early morning. They was wilding at Jackson. Talking about stick fights. That was crazy.
Who in that sword fighting? Hold up, Scotty. Hold up. Because I ain't gonna let you, man. Hey, you know what, brother?
Man, you come right out of a comic book.
I ain't dealing with this today, Scotty. Now, we ain't gonna go to war with a soundboard, but I'm just saying, bro, I'm liking the way this thing going off already. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I just hope the president went in there talking about, I am your father. Hey, I'm just hoping. You know what I'm saying?
It was booty warriors. That's what they call them down at Jackson State. Booty warriors. We gotta be very worried about them presidents at Jackson State. You know what I'm saying? It was a 3-man. It was a 3-man. It was listen. Hey, listen. I don't know how.
Kick Cassie out the room.
Listen,
hey. Bro, what's happening?
So my homeboy, how they got caught up was the video had came out, right? And my homeboy had the video, but he couldn't show me the video. And so he sent me a screenshot of proof that he had the video. Coach, let me just say,
I want to see that, dog. That burn my retina.
Oh, Coach, let me just say it was an Adidas sponsorship. Okay, all I'm seeing is Adidas socks. Hey, that's all I'm seeing is ain't nothing else on but Adidas socks. Everybody wearing Adidas socks. It's crazy. It was wild, man. It was wild. It was different.
He probably found a perfect screenshot, like the one screenshot told the whole story. He didn't just say, "Hey, I got proof." He go to the beginning of the video where they chilling. He probably caught oh man.
Dog, it was the president was on the bed. 2 dudes standing. Dog, it was wild, Coach. I'm trying to tell you, it was wild. It was wild. No face, no case, though. But it was crazy.
I'll just say this, but I hope them boys ain't had to still pay tuition. But anyway, let me let's push on, dog. See, man, Scotty, I knew this was gonna happen, dog. We got on here, but we was on the phone earlier clowning, and I knew we was gonna get on here, and it was gonna be a good time, a fun time, and that's exactly what we got going. But you done kicked the show off with a doozy. No Diddy, no doubt. But here's what I'm gonna tell you, man. Listen, this ain't my show tonight. This is our show, man. We're gonna have a fun time with it, man. Do as you please. And we're gonna have a good time. Like I said, it's prime time talk tonight here on this channel. And I know, Scotty, you do a lot of content. I reached out to you, say, hey man, sometimes, you want to talk to other people. I love talking to my guests, and we're going to open the phone lines as well. And that goes for both sides. The phone number works on both sides of the screen. I want people to understand that.
Yeah.
Because I know you got your own phone number too. So I just didn't want them to call that one. And it went, oh, yeah, if you got it, if it worked, I'm all for it too. It don't matter, but however that works. But anyway, kind of breaking news. I didn't even know this. Actually, shout out to Big Tiger, the one who told me that Coach Prime fell ill. Apparently right now it's an undisclosed illness, unspecified illness, as they said. And I was looking at an ESPN report about it. But he's been ill. He has missed the beginning of summer workouts, so he's not there. He's currently in Texas, at his home in Texas. His oldest son, Deion Jr., aka Bucky, is there with him, and said that his dad was feeling better or feeling well, but I guess he's not out the woods again. I don't know what the illness is. I'm not sure if it's pertaining to his feet, something else, major flu, whatever. I don't know what it is. However, he's not well enough to be traveling around and being, I guess, around the team. So Bucky said he will remain by his side until he's ready to go back to Colorado and finish out his duties there, man. What do you take from that, man, as we start this off? Because it's literally just heard this probably 30 minutes before I got on the air.
One, I don't, health, man, people's health, they say health is wealth, you know what I'm saying? And being healthy and him having health scares with his blood clots and things like that. So prayers to his family, to him, Bucky, Shadeur, and all those guys. I know they're close family and things like that. And I hope if whatever's going on with Deion, I do hope that he gets better. But I will say this.
Here it comes.
I will say this. We talked about this, a year and a half ago, and I said to you, I would not be surprised when Shadeur leaves that all of a sudden, I have this illness. I can no longer coach CU, and I'm going to take a sabbatical from the team. And then next year he says I'm taking a medical retirement, kind of like an Urban Meyer situation. Now I'm just saying, I've said that to you. Now, I'm not saying what he's going through is not real. I'm not saying what he's going through is not true. I'm not saying that at all. But, Coach, I ain't lying. We had this conversation
a year and a half ago.
Year and a half ago. I said it to you. And I'm not saying that he's not going. I want to be very clear. I'm not saying he's not going through something. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is I wouldn't be surprised if he parlayed this into a medical retirement and just say, hey, I'm out. That's all I'm saying. All
right. Let me play a little devil's advocate then. Just got a contract extension, $10 million a year due. We did talk about this a year ago, and to be honest, everyone does tread on light water when you deal about health. You're not trying to make fun of somebody's health. I get that. But this is a scenario in which you and I did bring up a year and a half ago. Yeah, roughly. Damn. Is there such thing as too soon, dog? Like, too soon.
It's not too soon because again, like you said, nobody's wishing ill on him, right? So it's not that we're like, like the toes situation, like, man, I stay 10 toes down. Like, ain't nobody doing them. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's too soon. Like, if he had his like when he got his toes cut off, and then you like, man, see, he don't stay 10 toes down. That's too soon, right? So nobody's going on that pathway. All I'm saying is I'm not opposed to him parlaying this into a medical retirement because he did his job, which was to get his kids, Travis included, to the league. And he did it. He's accomplished. He did his thing. So at the end of the day, now he might just want to sit back and enjoy watching his kids play the game of football and be in the NFL. So that's just my little 2 cents on that. But again, like you said, health is nothing to play with. Being sick, being healthy, with COVID, you never know what it could be, right? So, wishing him well. But again, I would not be surprised if he parlayed this into a medical retirement or some Urban Meyer type stuff. That's all I'm saying.
I'll just say this: you went from Ohio State Cup to a One Love Cup, brother. I don't know how you did it, but you did it.
Oh,
And,
listen, I wouldn't about to drink out of that. I wouldn't, but she knew I wasn't about to drink out of that.
oh my God! Natasha Diana said, "Did you not see how much weight he lost?" Again, I didn't see. I
didn't
literally.
see it.
Big Tiger told me that right before we got online, so I didn't know anything about it. In regards to an illness, last time I saw him was with Asante Samuels. I think that's a perfect segue. So I didn't notice any noticeable change in weight in that interview. Maybe he wasn't sick at the time. Maybe he was. I don't know. But what did you think about the Asante Samuels interview? Did you see it?
Yeah, I watched it. The one thing I do always appreciate about Deion is he's willing to have the conversation. Now, the issue that I have with Deion is he doesn't do well with disagreements. Like he does, like if you don't see eye to eye in what he wants you to see it and how he wants you to see it, there can be some contention there. And I think Asante Samuel made a great point. I think Deion made great points. You know what I'm saying? But overall, I always appreciate people being able to talk about their differences and just have a conversation. Because as men, I feel like that's what if I don't agree with you, Coach Hayes, I should be able to come on here and tell you why I don't agree with you. And you tell me why you don't agree with me. And even if we don't see eye to eye, we still have an understanding for each other's opinion and we can still move forward. And I always appreciate two black men able to show that and speak to that and move accordingly. Now, what I did not like about Asante Samuel is after the interview, man, anybody have a problem with Deion's son, man, y'all really need to make don't go pandering. Don't do that. Don't do that, okay? Because now you in Deion's good graces and now you back to pandering and y'all really need to reach out and no. That's everybody's individual fight. You had your fight, let everybody else have their fight. But I ain't like the pandering at the end of it. But other than that, no, it was really good. It was really good.
Yeah, like I said, the only thing that I wish that they would have delved into a little bit was the whole T-step. Because that was the crux of really a lot of the argument.
Yeah.
And they didn't do that. Because to Deion's credit, I understand why he said what he said because of the level of talent he is, the kind of person he is. And this is always, just if you guys follow me for a second, this is why people have always said great players make terrible coaches. Because great players can get away with so much. I'm talking from an athletic standpoint. They can overcome a mishap. Deion could look like he's getting beat by 5 yards when he's baiting the quarterback because he know he's got to giddy up to recover. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying this about Prime, but I'm talking about this would have been a great conversation to have about two different ways to skin a cat. Does Asante Samuels has Deion Sanders' skill set? Not even the same stratosphere. However, can they accomplish the same things? Yeah, they just had to do it two different ways.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I say that about Prime, meaning when he talked about the T-step and how stupid is that and not ever. But you kind of crapped on how 99% of DBs make their money, right?
Yeah.
I'll say 98%, 99% of the guys make their money. And I thought it would have been a great way to see two greats within their own right discuss two different ways to skin the cat. Tail to head, head to tail, right? But at the end of the day, is the cat skinned? Yes. Is the quarterback picked off? Most definitely. Is the receiver shut down? 100%. I'm just saying, I thought that would have been a great part of it. And then I guess to that piece there, you know, here's what I say about communication, especially in text messages. The reader sets the perspective, right?
That's good. That's good.
When you could text me, have a great day. If I'm thinking it's shady coming for you, I'm going to read it like, have a great day. You being sarcastic. You could be genuine.
Have a great day.
Because the reader sets the perspective. There's no tone when it comes to typing.
That's good.
I am the tone. The reader sets the tone. And so that's why conversations, in my opinion, are great, because even if we don't agree, you have a better understanding of my perspective. I have a better understanding of your perspective. And therefore, if we don't agree, that's okay. But I'm not putting my funk on it, and you ain't putting your funk on what I said because you thinking somebody said something. And that's why I love sitting at the round table. When beef happen, let's cook it right here at the round table. You know what I mean? Hibachi style, right here at the table. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, I love it. And that's a great perspective on the reader sets the tone, because again, however you have perceived it or however you thought it was coming at you is how you gonna take it. You know, people like, somebody might like to type in caps, but you might think they're yelling at you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's in
Shout out
caps.
to Lexus. I got a young lady on here named Lexus. She type everything in all caps.
You know what I'm saying? So and that can come off as like, dang, why you yelling at me? But it's like, she's like, I'm just typing, right? So it's all those things. And the thing, you know, for me in the T-step and in the straight back pedal, I think it's just it's all about comfortability. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't play DB for very long, but when I think about backpedaling like Deion talked about, I always worried about slipping. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just, you know, when your feet just go back like that and you just push back, I just feel like you're going to slip, right? In inclement weather, if the ground, whatever, like if you got dry ground, okay, but you know, how can you do that with inclement weather? How can you do that when the ground is soft or things like that? So it's just little things like that, you know, it kind of makes me think differently. And again, like you said, there's some great corners, man, who have T-stepped, you know what I'm saying, that are in the Hall of Fame, that are Pro Bowlers, you know, all pros. So again, like you said, it's multiple ways to skin a cat, but you know, the greatest to ever do it did it a different way. You know what I'm saying? And again, not everybody can be Muhammad Ali. You know what I'm saying? But the way he did it was just a different way. Not everybody can be Floyd. The way he did it is just a different way. So it, like you said, when you're great, it's hard to tell people how to be great like you, because it's like, yo, you're on another level, bro. Like, you know, I'm a lowly guy down here.
Right. And to your point, the whole rope-a-dope. How many boxers or trainers, when that fight was happening, was saying, bro, what is Muhammad Ali doing?
Yeah.
And his plan worked, right? He bet on himself, his plan worked. But just to give you a little history, I don't know if you know the real history, but that's where why it was created. They used to call it 7 in the ground, right? And 7 in the ground, people don't realize cleats used to have 7 cleats. If you put just your toe in the ground, you have 3 cleats on the front, and the 2 on the ball of your foot, right? That's how you had it. So that's what would end up. That's why they called it 7 in the ground, in essence, right? So I say all that to say they taught that, one, for more surface area. We get into a little physics here of the game, but you created more surface area because more of your foot was on the grass, and you created more explosion because more of your foot was on the grass. But again, to a person like Deion, who has so much quick twitch in him, right, that he could recover like that. He also, believe this or not, this is what makes great athletes. They can't explain why they do what they do.
They just do it.
I guarantee his body positioning when he planted his foot was never behind him. When most people backpedal, your weight carries, right? And for you to make an abrupt stop, it's like a car. The car does this, right? You got to have what? Something to level it out. But he is so good with his body control, he probably could see himself on tape like, I ain't know I did that. He just got it.
Yeah.
And so that's why I say when you downplay it. Now, if Prime would have came out and said, hey, man, you know what, man? The T-step ain't my cup of tea. I prefer to do it this way. I know some guys are successful at it. I just don't like it. It's not my way of doing things. I could go with that. And then that was that. So that was my only, not a beef, but my only thing that I thought it would have been a great teachable moment for athletes, for football fans, and new football fans that didn't even know what a T-step was when they said it, because they're new to this game. Deion has brought a lot of new faces to the sport. They never heard of T-step before. You know what I'm saying? They were like, what is that? What's a T-step? So anyway,
you know, me, when I was coming up, I heard nothing but the T-steps. I didn't know you could do it another, like that's all the way. Like I didn't know there's another way to do it. I just thought that when you're a DB, you plant, boom, and you get out. You know what I'm saying? Like that's you open up, plant, and get out.
Because it's only 1% that can't do it, that don't need it. That's why.
I was like,
me, you, and probably the 263 people on this chat couldn't do it either. That's why we was taught that way.
You know, we need something for the lowly, for the meagers. You know what I'm saying? But no, I still, you know, at the end of the day, it like you said, they can't explain it. You just got a gift. You got a talent.
Mhm.
You're able to do things that other people can't do, right? So
Yeah.
it's hard to explain. It just is. And you know, the one thing about, I know Shannon Sharp says this all the time. He said, you know, people ask him, you know, why doesn't he want to coach? He said, because I don't want to see a player who has talent and ability not work, right? Like not have the ethic that you're supposed to have to get to where you want to go. And I can't give you that work ethic. I can't give you what made me great. And that frustrates a lot of great players. And they're like, I see what's in you, but you don't even want to put the work in. You don't even want to do what needs to be done to get you to another level. So it goes on all forms and facets. But let me pitch it to you, right? Because I know we haven't had this conversation. Shadeur, 5th round. Me and you have not had this conversation. I know you probably had it with your. How did you feel when the news came down of when he was dropping, not came down, but when he just steadily dropping, what was going through your mind as it was happening in real time?
So when we got to day 2, right? When I put it up, when day 2 ended, I was in shock. When he didn't go the first round, I was like, dang. But when I was like, okay, he definitely gonna be a day 2 guy.
Yeah.
But when they picked that last pick of day 2, I was like, hell no, to the no. I to be honest, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Now, I will go back and say this. Now you got some new viewers on here. I've always told people that the NFL is not an exact science. It is not. You never know why they're picking who they're picking. Just because you're the best player doesn't always mean you're the best player for them and what they need. Just because you're the best player doesn't always mean you're going to be the best fit for them, right? These people are paying a lot of money. So they're doing a lot of research. And people have to understand that. NFL hires former FBI agents to do background checks. I've had FBI, no, they weren't the FBI. I've had organizations call about former players. Like
I think Coach Prime's medical issues might be cause of what happened to his son in the draft. Maybe he feels like it's his fault. I'd be hurt too. God's plan though.
That's tough. That's tough.
So we're gonna jump right on that FP. I'm gonna finish this part and then we're talking, and then we'll definitely get to that. Appreciate the $10. So I'm saying it's not an exact science. And I'm trying to tell a lot of people here, Scotty, too, and we did mention this. I understand the love and the affection for Shadeur, and I get it. But like I told you when I was on the phone with you, what if I told you a guy won 2 national championships and a Heisman and went in the 7th round? 2 natties and a Heisman and went in the 7th round. Did he get tried?
Mm-hmm.
But remember, yeah, you won the 2 natties, but the Heisman is saying you are the best player in college football. How about you win a Heisman and don't even get drafted?
That's tough. That's tough.
At a quarterback. I'm talking about only quarterbacks now. So he's not the Jackie Robinson of this thing.
Mm-hmm.
It happened. Yes, there are other circumstances. And it is what it is. Gino Toretta. Shout out to Gino Toretta. And I forgot, what's that guy named? Guy from Oklahoma, the quarterback. Didn't even get drafted. Yeah, but at least Charlie Ward went to play basketball. So that was kind of his thing. But to your point, yes. I'll go back and say this real quick. You asked me how I feel. I know I did a lot of talking, but I want to give people a little background. Because Jason White, thank you, DC Carson. Jason White. I almost said Jason Brown, but Jason White. Did I think it was fair? I don't know. I'm looking at other quarterbacks and I'm looking at Shadeur's skill set, and I'm looking at the other guy's skill set. You know what the difference was? Mobility. Jackson Dart can move.
Yeah.
Jalen Milroe, we know, can move. Cam Ward, I think, is definitely more athletic than Shadeur, athletic-wise. I think their arms are similar, but athletic-wise.
Dylan Gabriel is more athletic than him.
Dylan Gabriel is more athletic.
I love that question. Was it fair? And I think Shadeur, I don't think it was fair to him, but I don't think he helped himself in the case to make it appeasing for him, right? Like, not because, again, and I kept telling people on my channel, the BYU cannot be the last time we saw you on film. You can't leave that as the last game we've seen, and then you don't want to throw at the combine. You don't want to go to the Senior Bowl. You don't want to throw at the East-West practice. Like, what are we doing? You're moving. He was moving like he was Cam Newton. You know what I'm saying? To where I'm that guy. I won this. I accomplished this. I'm at the highest level. It's like, no. And I think and again, nobody will ever speak bad about Shadeur's work ethic because I've seen it personally, and I'll say, man, like, the kid puts in the work. But I think he did himself a disservice during the draft process that made people look at him differently, and they put him down because they're like, you're not the best athlete. You don't have the best arm. You don't have the best wins. So it's like, why are we jumping through hoops to come and get you when it's a circus that's going to be brought with you, right? So, but I think if he would have thrown either at the East-West Shrine or had gone to the Senior Bowl and thrown, I think you would have seen better reports coming out about Shadeur because of who he is, just as a teammate and as a player. And I think he goes in the third round. I think he closes all the noise and he goes into the third round because I think that's the best value for him. Second and third round, I think a second round would have been a push in my opinion, but a third round I think is perfect. Russell Wilson, Dak Prescott, he's in that ballpark in that range, but that's me.
So real quick before I go ahead, FPSD for the $10. Thank you again, brother. I think Coach Prong's medical issues may have been caused by what happened to his son in the draft. Maybe he feels like it's his fault. I'd be hurt too. Guys playing though. Thank you for that $10. And let's address that. I do believe Coach Prong's hurt. Nobody wants to see their son hurt, right? Everybody wants, even Mr. Irrelevant, mama wanted him to be a number one pick overall, right? Like, let's call it what it is. Everybody wants their kid, sibling, loved ones to get the best for them. Everybody does. I think personally where Prong made a big mistake, and I think Shadeur paid for the sins of his father, was when you went on this world tour on these talk shows talking about what you're not going to do. And when you did that, and I keep telling these people don't want to listen. These are multi-billionaires. They will spend millions of dollars just so you can't have it. And so their whole thing is power, not money. Power. Now, a lot of people try to make the comparison. Oh, well, Eli Manning. The difference is Eli Manning pulled his ace out on the stage and said, we're not going. They didn't do a whole campaign about what we ain't going to do. Now, they may have done it backdoor or whatever. But remember, that happened on the stage in New York or wherever they were at for the draft.
New York.
So that's the biggest difference. You caught them off guard. If I come over here, hey, Scotty, get ready. I'm about to hit you in the face.
I'm going to get prepared.
So that's where I think the difference is. Second, I don't know how true, if at all, because I'm a big person on evidence now. Did he tank the interviews and whatever? I don't know, Scotty. They throw Jackson Dart interviews out there and all that. Nobody's put those interviews out there.
Yeah.
And if it was a way to quote unquote embarrass the kid, then they would have put the interviews out there. So I'm saying to myself, I don't think he tanked the interview. He may not have answered the way in which they wanted him to, but that's not tanking the interview. Tanking the interview is like, oh man, I don't know nothing about no curl routes, coach. I just throw the ball to the open man. That's tanking the interview. You understand? That's tanking the interview. Now you go in there and coach wants you to, hey, how do you read this concept? And all his life he's been taught to read it
one way,
this way to that way.
Yeah.
That's not tanking. That's just how I was taught. And it may not be what other teams wanted. But I don't think he tanked the interview. Now, did he have headphones on? Man, whatever. He may have had them on before he walked through the door. And the guy looked out and saw him, he had the headphones on. I don't know. What that to me, that's nonsense to me. But whatever. And I say this, I said this before the show, I would have loved for him to go in there with John Gruden and talk some ball.
Oh my gosh, I would have loved to seen that.
Because that's one thing we don't get from the Colorado camp within itself.
At all. You don't get any X's and O's, you don't get any film break, you don't get any of those intricate details on how they, and again, it's not, even with Jackson Dart when he went on there, he was like, they say one word, like it was like tomato. He's like,
yeah.
That's it. That's all.
Just the one snap. Yeah.
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 You know, and the guard from Notre Dame did the same thing. The kid from Notre Dame talked about the same thing. You know, it's just he's like, you don't say like blue with the do. You know, again, it's those parts of football that you want to be a part of and you want to get the essence of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. And I think that's the ingredient. I think Shadeur has a high football IQ. That I believe. I believe he loves football. Excuse me, I'm so sorry, man. I got allergic to this bull crap around here. I seen some foolishness in the chat. No, I'm just teasing. I don't know what caught me all this. I've been trying to hold it for a minute, man. I couldn't get to the mute button fast enough. But anyway, I believe the kid loves football. I believe he's in love with football because he doesn't have to do football.
Fact.
You don't have to take 50 sacks and break your back and come back and do it again. You don't have to. You could be part of Deion Sanders Enterprises and do something else.
Right off in the sunset. Come
on. He going to be all right. They're going to be all right.
Yeah.
However, I think he loves the game. I think he loves competing. I think he loves all the things that go along with it. But that is the one avenue I think that has been missing just from the Colorado camp. And y'all miss me with this. We don't want to give away the plays. Stop.
We know they're not doing that. It's not. No, I'm sorry.
No, but everybody runs. No, it's football, bro.
Come on, man.
It's football. And we're talking about, bro, Jackson Dart, all these other people do it.
Before Coach Prime is done, he will be the first Black HC to win the national championship.
Won't happen.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one. Real quick, Raw 870 for the 199. Bad take. It's about skill set, not out accolades. All right, I'm not sure how the bad take came in there, but that's it. Because here's the funny thing, Scotty. Big Tiger say he got a better arm.
But then who?
No, he was just saying he had a better arm. Guess what? I always bring this guy up. AR-15 didn't throw a touchdown first 3 games of his college senior year, and he got picked 4th overall. That's why I say it's not an exact science. Dog, the dude could not hit the broadside of a barn, dog. You're at the University of Florida. You have not thrown a passing touchdown. I know I said it twice. Thrown a passing touchdown. I get it.
Yeah.
In first 3 games. And you got picked 4th overall at quarterback.
Yeah.
And FD said, hopefully Coach Prime will be the first black head coach to win a national championship. I mean, hopefully. I don't believe so. But, I mean, we had 2 in the running last year, and nobody act like they didn't even exist. James Franklin and Marcus Freeman.
Marcus Freeman. You know, I don't know where the bad take came in at, but we have to keep it a buck if we're being honest. Like, Shadeur's arm strength is not better than a lot of the quarterbacks that went in front of him. It's not. Now, what makes Shadeur is his ability to see the field, is his moxie, his 4th quarter clutch ability, you know, his touch, you know, his accuracy. Like, those are things that make Shadeur. But it's not the physical traits. It's not, right? And people are talking about, oh, Cam Ward. Like, Cam Ward is a better quarterback. He just is. Like, it's no. And again, it's not just from you got to take it from back to incarnate word. everywhere Cam Ward has been, he's been outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
He outplayed him when he was at a Carter Word. He outplayed him his time when he was at Washington State, and he outplayed him in his time in Miami. There's no dip. Like, what are we talking about at this point? So to even have the comparison of Cam Ward and Shadeur, Cam Ward is light years better than Shadeur, in my personal opinion, right? But at the end of the day, there's still qualities about Shadeur that makes him a starting quarterback in the NFL. And I think in the right system, in the right place, I think the Cleveland situation is just a bad situation because it's Cleveland.
It's Cleveland, dog.
It's Cleveland, man. Like, I'm in Ohio, bro. It's Cleveland, bro. Like,
bro, can I say this?
Go ahead.
Y'all can love Shadeur as much as you want.
Oh, it's Cleveland.
You know how many quarterbacks have been through this doggone team? Like, think about what we're saying here. You've had from no names to big names to Heisman Trophy winners to 7th round pick. Nobody can fix this problem here, bro. Even the dude they paid all the money to, his Achilles say, man, I'm out of here. I can't even take it. Bro, I have to say this. I hate the fact that he went to Cleveland. I do too. I'm glad he got drafted.
I do too.
But I hate the fact that he went there because, and I'm not talking about, yeah, I am talking about Cleveland's awful, bro.
It's Cleveland.
It's God almighty, but I'll say this. I'll say this about Cam Ward and Shadeur. I think Cam Ward has a stronger arm. I think the ball zips off his hand a little differently than Shadeur's. I think Shadeur is hella accurate. When I look at him throw the ball and the way he's throwing it under the duress in which he's throwing it.
That's tough.
I've never seen him shell shock. You know how many dudes flinch when they throwing the ball? Like, what game was that when my man shot his knees from under him? It was a terrible hit, bro.
Oh my God. It was
Utah? No. They'll say it in the chat. But anyway, bro, if you look at that, go look at that clip, Kansas. Thank you, Coach T. You go look at that clip. When he got his leg shot from under him, as he's flipping, he's still looking downfield.
Why your eyes like that?
That's how he was. He was like,
oh my goodness.
Bro, the dude, one thing I tell about Shadeur, he don't flinch, bro. He don't twist. Like when he throw the ball, like dude is right here. He's still delivering the rock. And he done been hit, knocked down 12, 13 times in the game, sacked at 4, and he don't flinch. That's good and bad. That's good for him, but that's bad for him. Meaning that's good that he'll stay in the pocket, but what's bad is you don't protect yourself. The first law of nature is self-preservation. Yeah. And he's like, he be taking shots right under the arm. I'm like, God. And this dude just keep getting up, bro. And so I'm saying to that point is that's a plus for him. But I really gave the edge between Cam and Shadeur was athleticism. I thought Cam had a little more wiggle, a little more escapability. And I've always said that about Shadeur. He doesn't have escapability, right? Remember Kamara from Colorado State? Previous year? Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
No, what was the dude that got put out the game? The defensive end for hitting Shadeur. First year.
Oh, it's against Colorado State.
Yeah, Colorado State. He was running them down backside. I'm just saying he was going to get him backside. So he doesn't, and that's okay. That's okay. But I think that's what gives Cam, in my opinion, the edge. Right? Mm-hmm.
I think for me, Coach, is I love somebody put in the chat, Cam Ward has better pocket presence, right? And I think sometimes Shadeur can get a little antsy, just sometimes, and he wants to roll out. But the way Cam, I don't know what it is. Now he doesn't have the same makeup like Shadeur in the pocket sometimes, but Cam's patience in the pocket, I can't explain it. It's like it feels like everything is slow to him. It doesn't feel like anything is being rushed, right? Like even the game, I think it was the Virginia Tech game where he did the shovel pass.
For the touchdown,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm like,
To Riley Williams. Yeah.
I'm like, bro, like it's everything is going on, and he's just like getting spun around and he looks like it's like it was meant to be, right? Like it's just little things like that with Cam. You're just like, oh my God, like that is crazy.
Yeah.
So, but going into the NFL, I'll say this, and I know people are going to say, Scotty, you're contradicting yourself, but I will say this. If Shadeur would have gone to Pittsburgh, New York, or the Saints, I think he's rookie of the year. And the reason I say that is because of the notoriety, right? Like nobody is, it's the Tennessee Titans. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
What you want from that? It's the Tennessee Titans, right? You get what I'm saying? It's not a lot of Cam Ward doesn't have the buzz. You saw it at the draft. He goes #1, and they still talking about Shadeur. They, you know,
Right.
it's not enough notoriety, and I think
the marketplace,
the market, right? So to me, if he would have went to, I don't think honestly, listen, I love Travis. I love Travis Hunter, but he's not. If Shadeur would have went to New York, listen to me. If he would have went to New York, New Orleans, or Pittsburgh, I promise you the kid is rookie of the year, especially if he went to Pittsburgh, because they're not going to ask him to do much. They're just going to ask him to be Shadeur, which is facilitate. Just don't throw
take the rock.
Dak Prescott, first year with the Cowboys, is what you could get. If you put the right team around Shadeur. What Dak Prescott did year 1 with Zeke, Dez Bryant, Terrence Williams, Jason Witten, and Ezekiel Elliott in the backfield, that's what you get from Shadeur. I don't need to do too much. I just
play point guard. Yeah,
I play point guard. I hand the ball off behind whoever I got, because those programs expect to have great seasons or expect to be competitive. So they're going to put money in the places that they need to get better at, which would have been O-line, D-line. You know, it's Cleveland. Okay, like, and it's an outdoor stadium. And you're talking about a kid that doesn't have a lot of arm strength. Like you would say, oh, Scotty, he played at Colorado. Cleveland is by the water. Okay.
A little different cold.
It's a different cold. That lake effect snow is no joke. That wind coming off the water is no joke. And they talk about it all the time. If you've ever watched Cleveland games, I have to, because my wife watches the Browns every now and again. And you know, when you're in that local market, that's the only thing that comes on in your local market. They talk about the wind spiraling inside the stadium that gets caught up in it, and you got to have the right arm strength for that type of stuff. I don't think Shadeur is going to be awful, but it's tough. It's just tough, man. It's Cleveland. If Baker Mayfield couldn't make it work, I can't tell you.
Bro, you had Baker Mayfield, Johnny Manziel, Tim Couch. Bro, everybody and their mama has been to Cleveland. It is that you see that jersey the guy walk around with all the names on the back. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't seen that.
Scotty, you never seen this?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna entertain you here for a second. Bro, they have every quarterback name up there since Tim Couch. Bro, please tell me you have not seen. I can't believe you haven't seen this, especially being up there. But anyway, bro, when I show you this, you're gonna be like, nah, stop it, coach. You tripping. You be like, nah, coach, you tripping, coach. Let me put this up here for you. These are all the quarterbacks they've had since Tim Couch. Share screen.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Now, mind you, the newest guys are not even on that one yet.
That's crazy. Detmer, Dilfer, DeLone, Hogan, Wallace, Taylor, Peterson, Whedon, Brandon, Baker, Case Keenum, Lewis, Holcomb, Garcia. Is that?
Bro, you forgot Johnny Manziel right in the middle. Look, since Johnny Manziel.
Manziel, Fry, Shaw, Dorsey, Davis, Flacco, Quinn, Brady, RG3. Is that Kaiser? Is that Zapier?
Bro, they have. Listen to this.
That's Zaley. But what?
Yeah,
I don't know that.
Bro, can I tell you some question? I want to show you something. They have 4 Heisman Trophy winners on there. Manziel, RG3,
Yeah,
Mayfield, and Jameis Winston.
that's crazy.
I'm just saying, I don't even know the rest of them. Maybe some other guys. No, they got Kate McCown. Is it McCown? They got Colt McCoy,
Jacoby
Brady
Brissett,
Quinn.
that's crazy
Brissett.
work. That's
Bro, this is Ty Detmer. Bro, like, nobody can help these people.
This man was said Shadeur will have a better career than everyone just got. Man, come on, bro. Like y'all gotta get off the juice. Y'all got to get off the juice.
And my thing is, here's where my problem. And they just won't let the kid play. Stop putting that on him. Just let him play. And when he does it, man, see, but everybody just want to say, I told you so. Man, I don't want to say anything. I want Shadeur to go and beat all them people and then be like, man, you did it, bro. You did it. Because, man, that's crazy.
Can you bring up this Juan Manuel V?
Oh, this is my man right here. Here we go. Prescott is bigger. This one?
Yes, please. Let me give me some time to cook on this one, right? I'm a Cowboys fan.
Cook it up.
I'm a Cowboys fan, so let me be very clear about what I'm saying to you. Dak Prescott is the whitest black quarterback I've ever seen in my life. He does not run. So you saying he's faster? He does not run. He does not. What he did at Mississippi State, when he got into the NFL, he does not do. He's bigger. Yes, okay. Stronger arm. He's not as accurate as Shadeur. Dak Prescott's accuracy is atrocious. I watch it every single Sunday. His deep ball is ass. Because they love doing 3rd and 3, go ball to CeeDee Lamb, and he overthrows it by a mile. I watch this stuff. Dak Prescott is not that guy. And I'm a Cowboys fan. I want to be very clear about what I'm saying. The best version of Dak was his rookie contract when they did not ask him to go win you games. They said, don't lose games. The only reason Dak Prescott even got the starting job was because he didn't throw interceptions. Because that's what Cowboys fans got tired of seeing Tony Romo do, when in the biggest moments he would throw an interception. You're like, what are you doing, Tony? But Tony would win you games. He could throw you into a game. He could win you a game because of Tony Romo's arm. Dak Prescott is pure. Dak Prescott is the guy playing pickup basketball where the score is like 19-3 and you're going to 21, and then you just need 2 points, and then Dak Prescott goes on a run for like 13. And you're like, man, that game was close. What? Like, the game was never close.
It's easy to say who won't be successful in the NFL, especially since the success rate is so low. Put your name on what rookie will be successful.
Again, Dak is not that guy. Okay? He's not that guy. And the fact of the matter is that, again, if Shadeur has a Dak Prescott type of career, it's not bad. You get a second contract, you get paid, you become the franchise guy, whoop-de-doo. But you probably don't win anything. But I think Shadeur is when I say Shadeur is Dak Prescott, I mean, you want him to be a great game manager. And then, again, he can give you the Brady model, right? I'm not saying he's Tom Brady. I'm not saying that. But he can give you the Tom Brady model. Is I'm not asking you to do too much in your first 4 years. I just need you to not fuck the game up. And then once he gets more comfortable, then you ask him to make those big time throws. Then you ask him to go make you a couple plays to go win you some games. But right now, he just needs to be a great facilitator. And again, if you put him on the Giants with Malik Neighbors and Brian Daboll, and people sleep on Daboll, Daboll is a great play caller. I see him twice a season. He's a great play caller. I'm not a big fan of the white boy down in New Orleans. Not a big fan. Not a fan.
Kellen Moore?
I'm not a fan.
He had the ultimate ride. You know why I think? Because his rise was so fast, bro. Bro, think about it. This dude was playing. The next year, he was the quarterback coach. The year after that, he was the offensive coordinator at Dallas. Just like that. Pop, pop, pop.
Yeah.
But anyway, go Go ahead, finish cooking, my brother.
The last thing, my last point.
Cutting up onions for you.
Yeah, not a fan of Kellen Moore. I think that's going to be we'll see what it looks like when he's the lead guy. Maybe he'll change it up. Maybe he won't. I don't know. But he goes to Pittsburgh. I think he would have been successful because of they're a defense first team. He wouldn't have had to do much to have. I like the backup. I like the backup running back more than I like Najee Harris for that team. And I think with DK Metcalf and the pieces they would have put around him, I think he would have been perfect for that system. So I think he would have been really great. I think they had a winning season again, but we'll see. We'll see. I hate when people start talking about Dak Prescott like he that guy. Dak Prescott is not that guy.
He's not that guy, though.
He's not that guy. He's not.
He's not that guy. Well, Google man say different. They gonna call in tonight. They gonna. I think you to ruffle some feathers.
I don't give a damn. He is not worth $60 million because he don't make nobody better. He don't. If I'm paying you $60 million, why I gotta go trade for Amari Cooper? If you that guy, why do I always gotta keep giving you help? Most people can't even name Aaron Rodgers receivers. He hadn't had a first-round drafted wide receiver his whole career at Green Bay, and he's still that guy. You could give Patrick Mahomes 3 grandmas and an aunt, and he'll still take you to the playoffs. I'm asking people here today, how is somebody who's getting paid $60 million and people say he need more help? That is ridiculous. You are the help, $60 million man. Sorry.
I mean, y'all know I'm not a real NFL guy. I try to keep up, but I don't have nothing to say because I can't combat it. But they're going to combat it here in the chat when they call in. And we're going to stick to our 3 minutes tonight because I think it's going to be hot on the trot tonight. But to that point, man, hey, FPSD, appreciate you again for the $10, man. Thank you so much, brother. I just, okay, let me go back because you brought up the Steelers and you brought them up a couple of times. So why didn't they draft him?
That
in your opinion,
that one tripped me out. Listen, I know people won't. I know the Shadeur Stan fans won't admit it, but it had to be something that the Steelers said that's not their cup of tea. Because you're talking about Mike Tomlin is one of the most progressive NFL coaches. He's willing to stick his neck out for black men. You know what I'm saying? If it's bringing them on staff, if it's putting them into his system, if you got a couple rough feathers as a player, he'll kind of work with you. I was so shocked when the 3rd round came around and the Steelers had their pick that you wouldn't just draft Shadeur to put him in your back pocket. Just to have him in the back pocket does not hurt. So that was, I was surprised. It something about the meetings, something about what they've heard or what they've seen or what they did their research on had to scare them away. But I'm honestly, I think if Shadeur looks halfway decent at Cleveland, I think Mike Tomlin is on his way out, or whoever, because Steelers fans are going to be up in arms because it's like, bro, we could have had this dude, no harm, no foul. We needed a quarterback any goddamn way, and now we over here for Aaron Rodgers his 1 year tour. Before he gets up out the league. Like, that's crazy when you could have had a guy that you could have had for the next 7 to 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. That one shocked me for sure. I thought that was a match made in heaven. Steelers with their brand, Shadeur with his brand. Man, listen. That would have been
so there are 2 things I thought about. First of all, Mike Tomlin is not the GM, right?
That's fair.
So I try to tell people, especially people in our community, just because you see the face of somebody, they're not the decision makers, right? Ronald McDonald doesn't decide what's on the menu for McDonald's. He's the face of the brand, but he don't cook hamburgers. Sorry. Sometimes we have to know where to target our anger.
That's fair.
Right? It ain't like college where the head coach in college makes the ultimate decision of who the recruit is coming in. This is the sport I still never understood. You got a dude in a suit. If y'all ever watch Ballers with The Rock in them, the head coach is saying, I want this guy. And the GM is saying, I want this guy, and the owner. But yeah, I'm going to get fired because the guy that y'all picked don't work out. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Second, I always listen to what people don't say. And I'm going to put this on the screen. This is the Mike Tomlin addressing the Shadeur when they asked him. And a lot of people miss this. And I actually learned this through coaching, believe this or not. When you're breaking down film, when you don't see things about opponents, be prepared for what you don't see, not what you see. I'll be dead serious. If you see a team not doing something, you better practice that because it's going to come. I hope that makes sense. Right? If I see you always, we know what you do.
Yeah.
Winning and losing game usually happens when you're not prepared for what they don't do.
That's good.
That one little wrinkle.
Yeah.
They may run the same play, but instead of motioning the fullback to kick out the end, they now motion the slot to kick out the end. To the defense, it looks totally different. Changes the whole thing, but nothing changes except one person on the offense. The receiver's doing it versus the fullback.
That's good.
Or a tight end. So listen to what he doesn't, well, listen to what he says, and then I'll talk about what he doesn't say. Hopefully, guys, what they call it, fair market use. Please don't whatever, copyright us. Woo-de-woo. Thank you. Appreciate it, YouTube. God bless. Good night. All right, here we go. Because none of that works. Does that work for you, Scotty?
No, it does not. And they send me a copyright every time. I'm like, bro, you know this is fair use. Stop playing me.
Bro, soon as we hit the end stream, blink, I can get an email. You know you got copyright. So I'm going to just cut it out if it does it. But anyway, we here. Here we go. Check this out. Listen to this.
You know, I've obviously known his father for a long time. My first time meeting him, and to be quite honest with you, we didn't talk a whole lot about my relationship with his father. It was a normal pre-draft visit to spend time with a young man, to talk ball, to get to know him as an individual, to get to see how he processes and sees the game and how he articulates his football experience. From that standpoint, it was a very normal visit, a very productive one.
Did anything stand out in that meeting about him that maybe you didn't see coming or didn't know?
You know, I think the things that stood out were evident in his video. There's a toughness there that doesn't get talked about enough. There's a competitive spirit there that doesn't get talked about enough. I know he's very talented and made a lot of plays for his university and his team, but the intangible qualities displayed on tape were impressive to me.
Okay. First question, fluff. First part of that, fluff. The question was, did you see anything that you did not know? Huh? That you did not know that stood out to you? And what did he name? Everything that stood out. He's tough. We just talked about how tough the dude is.
Yeah.
He's competitive.
Intangibles.
He did. That right there was telling to me. There was something, because what he said, something that you did not know about the young man.
Yeah.
Hell, if you get sacked 50 times and still come back next week, you tough.
Yeah.
What I would have had, I can't tell them how to answer, but when they asked that, I was waiting for them to tell me something about football. You notice nobody talks about football about him. Like the IQ, understanding where people are supposed to be, understanding route concepts, understanding leadership skills. What all it takes to be a quarterback. Something threw them off. And the rest of that answer was boiler room bull crap. It was just talk. Because he clearly asked you, what is it that he did that stood out that you did not know?
Mm-hmm.
You watch one Colorado game, you know he tough.
Yeah.
You know he tough.
Accuracy, all those things. Yeah.
I'm just saying that right there, something threw him off. And then my second thing is Mike Tomlin already had a deal with Antonio Brown and cameras. And I don't think their organization
wanted a part two to that.
They didn't want a part two. And I hate to say this, and people may hate me for saying it, but I'm going to call it what it is. when you put Shadeur's skill set on a scale and you put the other stuff that's going to come with it on the scale, does his skills outweigh
talent
all
versus
the other?
tolerance?
Yeah, but and I hate to say this about it, this ain't Shadeur's fault in essence. The aunties and the crazy talk and all of the stuff that goes around it. NFL franchises don't like mess because they can't control mess. They want to always be in control. They can't control it. They like to control narratives. And a lot of teams, though, you know how much stuff happened on the NFL team you would never hear about? Yeah. That's why when you hear these former players, that's why their podcasts are so popular. They're giving you behind the scenes stuff. You be like, I didn't know that happened for real.
Medicine, shots, and all. Oh, you be like, oh my God. You be like, dang, that's how they do you? I'm like, dang, that's cold-blooded.
I just heard about the dude gambling on the plane. They were talking about basketball, talking about how they gamble on the plane.
Yeah.
My man was whipping him the whole day. They had to cancel practice. And like they stopped gambling on the plane, bro. Like, no more gambling, dog. We can't even practice because y'all fighting because you owe each other money. Like, anyway, long story short, I'm just saying, I don't know if they want to. I think that's what hurt a lot of teams. And this is not really a Shadeur problem.
Yeah.
Shadeur has never came out and said, I broke 100 records. Shadeur, a lot of that stuff is just the fandom. And it becomes too much for a lot of these teams. And as you see the owner, not the owner, but the head coach from Cleveland, he told you, I went to a youth camp. I answered no less than 31 questions about is Shadeur going to start at a youth camp. I'm the head coach. I don't want to deal with that. But anyway.
I look at it like this too, Coach. And listen, man. The NFL, my high school coach, he played, and he said, the thing about the NFL is not for long, and what have you done for me lately? Mm-hmm. And the thing that I keep trying to tell people when they bring up Shadeur is if teams, again, like you said, it's not an exact science, but you cannot tell me that if teams knew they could win with Shadeur, that they weren't going to draft him. Like at the end of the game, at the end of it all, it's about who's going to be the next Patrick Mahomes, who's going to be the next Cam Newton, who's going to be the next Josh Allen or whatever, to get me to that level, to take my franchise to another level. And if GMs felt that way about him, they would have grabbed him in the first 3 rounds, no matter the baggage. No matter the baggage.
That's why I say the scales. So it didn't balance out. Yeah.
It just didn't. And we always hear talent versus tolerance. And I'm not saying that, and I want to be very clear. And again, it goes back to what you said about exact science. I feel as though if you put Shadeur in the right element, you could get the best out of Shadeur. Putting him in Cleveland is like a death sentence. Dog, it is like I'm walking the green mile. You don't know when it's going to happen, but it's
dead
going
man
to happen.
walking. Dead man walking.
Oh, we know what it is. And you're telling me that the guy who's the least talented to walk into Cleveland is supposed to be the best guy to bring Cleveland out?
Scott, hey, Joe Perry, please tell me you're joking. Because and the reason I'm hesitant, because this is not a typical podcast. Because there are people that'll say this and really believe it. So I can't tell the difference on Tuesday nights. What's being funny and sarcastic and just tongue in cheek, or like truly believe this. So just give me a thumbs up if you were joking. If I don't see one, then I'm gonna go ham on you. I'm just saying. I might just have to. So Shadeur is a problem, but Taylor Swift ain't. So just give me a thumbs up if you were joking. I'll move on. Okay, thank you. Woo, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate you, dog. Because you know what? I hate to say this to you, Joe. You know you just gave somebody ammunition. Because they're going to go on somewhere and say, well, Taylor Swift is a distraction. Anyway.
They don't have no problem with that. And
appreciate you, Joe. Much love.
Go back up to Juan Manuel, your boy Juan.
Juan. Hey, Juan, he like the furniture, dog. He's just going to troll you to death. Go ahead.
I like this comment. And I agree with you. right? So to me, this is what I say. If you compare Shadeur's career to everybody that's somewhat of a starting quarterback, he's supposed to go in the 5th round. Dak had a better career at Mississippi State. Jalen Hurts had a better career at Alabama. Russell Wilson did better at NC State and Wisconsin. Patrick Mahomes in Texas Tech is kind of like, you can kind of be like, wouldn't they, right? Josh Allen at Wyoming, you can be like, Lamar at Louisville, better than. So again, when you start comparing guys that are in these starting roles, his career is not better than theirs.
But
so
you know it's going to come, though, Scott. I hate to interrupt you. But he was on a 1-11 team. You know that's coming. Watch. I guarantee you it's coming.
Listen, man. If that's what y'all want to lean on it. That's but at the end of the day, his career, not like you can't like there's not a signature win in his career. Like honestly, outside of the TCU, yeah. Now, okay.
You all sound like the woman reporter in Cleveland.
I don't even know who the woman reporter is.
Yeah, I heard about it, but I didn't watch the clip. Jackson Dart versus Shadeur. Now I'm gonna be very. I listen. I like Jackson Dart, right? And I think Jackson Dart. Okay, let me be very. I like gunslingers. That's a preference of me, right? So I like the Patrick Mahomes. I like the Josh Allens. I like the Brett Favres. I like the Tony Romos. I like those type of guys because they'll throw you in a game, but you got to know they'll throw you out of a game, right? And you have to be able to live with that. And that is just my preference, right? So I like Jackson Dart. Like people always bring up the Florida game or whatever game he went like stupid bad. Like he just shit his bed. I think it was the Florida game, if I'm not mistaken, where he threw like two or three interceptions and lost the game.
I think so. I can look it up and see, but yeah.
I think it was that game. Everybody loves to bring that game up, but nobody brings up the Shadeur Kansas game. Nobody wants to bring up the Shadeur by BYU game. Don't nobody want to bring up the Shadeur at South Carolina State in the Celebration Bowl. They don't want to bring them games up, right? They don't want to talk about that where he was ass against Baylor in the first half, right? Like nobody want to talk about that. So, but again, and if you really break down the numbers, Jackson Dart has for the last 2 years, Jackson Dart has better numbers than Shadeur at the quarterback position in QBR, in touchdowns, in interceptions. Go check it out. I promise you.
He ain't break 100 school records. Shadeur broke 100 school records, guy.
I just want to be very clear.
Why are you laughing?
I just want to be very clear about that. People love to bring up some how they be like, oh, Shadeur did this. I'm like, all right, yeah, whatever. All right, whatever. Because I deal in facts. I deal in numbers. And
Shiloh says, this is a gang up on Shadeur night. The man's been trying. No, we were talking. I hate the fade went to Cleveland. Now let's flip the script. Since shout out to I Am Shiloh. I see your picture change. Fifth round pick. You say you don't believe he's a 5th round pick. I don't agree either. However, I always say NFL is inexact science, so it's whatever. He's there though, right?
Mm-hmm.
As long as you in the club, right? If you in the club, you can dance, baby. That's all I can say.
That's facts. That's facts.
When you in the VIP or you on the dance floor, you in the club, you listen to the same music. All right. What do you think his opportunity is of starting? He makes this team. I don't dispute that whatsoever. But where's your thoughts on starting and when is he starting and what does he have to do to be named the starter?
Okay. I think let me go back to go forward, coach. I want to be very clear. I remember when Cam Newton came up for free agency, he left Carolina, and a lot of teams didn't want Cam because they didn't know if Cam could not be number 2. And then you didn't want your crowd in your stadium, as soon as your quarterback do something bad, put Cam, right? And I think that's what you're going to get with Shadeur. And so I think it's going to happen. I think the fans are going to push for Shadeur to be starting. If it goes bad in the first 4 or 5 games, I wouldn't be surprised if Shadeur is starting by game 6 or game 7.
Oh my God. You got to tell me game 8, dog. I bet a damn eyebrow, Scotty.
I wouldn't. You say game 8?
Well, shout out to Lil Bucket. Lil Bucket bet me a left eyebrow that Shadeur would be starting game 7.
It really depends on training camp. If he has a really good training camp, yeah, I could see it being 5 or 6.
Damn it, I need a schedule. Hold on. I can't be losing no eyebrow.
If he's not good at training camp, he's not starting. He won't start. He won't. He just won't.
Here's what I'll say.
Go ahead.
Here's what I'll say. Okay, hold on.
What's the schedule? You got the schedule?
Yeah, I'm pulling the schedule up here. Let me see if I can put it on the screen.
Now, mind you, it's not about the losses. It's the quarterback play in the losses, because Joe Flacco can go 23 of 34, 2 touchdowns, and they still lose, right? Because their team is not good. But if the quarterback play is bad, then I could see it going that way. But if the quarterback play is decent, Shadeur's not playing. That's where it comes down to, right?
All right. So NFL preseasons, you got Panthers, Eagles, Rams.
And let me be very clear. Those preseason games, they mean everything for Shadeur.
That's correct.
Because if he's a second or third round pick, he's not playing in these games. But since he's a 5th rounder, oh yeah, he about to get some PT. And how he plays these games, if he's really sharp and good, the fans are going to go ballistic.
Yeah. And there it goes, right? And to Shiloh's point, he's not anxious to start. He's actually, and that's what people like myself have been trying to do is, guys, temper your expectations. I mean, we can go to Shiloh. I was listening to a show the other day. I actually had to turn it off. I couldn't handle it. Shiloh going to start week 1 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I couldn't, and I'm like, and so here's back to what I'm saying. Because I said that, and because of how I said that, it sounds like I'm hating on Shiloh, but I'm not hating. It doesn't work that way. But because I said it the way I said it, Scotty, oh, you a hater on Shiloh. No, I'm a hater on the buffoonery that's coming out to people's mouths. Unless everybody is hurt. Bro, I told you a dude sent me a clip. I'm about to lose it. A dude sent me a clip saying they had to call Warwick Dunn to get his permission to give Shiloh his jersey. Warwick Dunn saw the table like, he a dog. He could wear my jersey. So what about the other people that wore 28 since Warwick Dunn left?
Yeah.
Like the kind of the ish that come up, like whoever y'all got to do something better with your life, man. You're not being fully productive, dog. God didn't put you on here for this foolishness, dog. Y'all just come up with anything. And I don't know how your brain cells like come up, like how do you form these things? He's starting day 1? And the boy told you, damn, Shadeur, they doing you like this. Imagine what they gonna do to me.
that boy Shiloh's so real, bro.
I love Shiloh. But dog, they're not even real. Like, they're not even like the stuff that come out their mouth. And it's almost like, let's just throw it against the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah.
And the problem is, to Shiloh's point, where she's saying is, none of them boys are talking like this. They're talking realistic.
Yeah.
Shiloh is enjoying this process, man. He going live on Twitch or whatever they're doing. They're enjoying this process. It's these rabbit fools out here, man.
Yeah, that's outrageous.
Tiger, slap yourself.
That's
outrageous.
That is outrageous.
No, Shiloh, yes. But I'm not mad fans are fanning. I'll say this and we can move on. I'm going to go back to the schedule. Here's why I'm with it, Shiloh. You got to help me. Is it Shiloh or Shiloh? I'm sorry, Shiloh.
I think it's Shiloh.
I told you this early, Scotty. You go out there and you buy a fake Rolex. And you come to my pawn shop and try to sell me this fake Rolex for $50,000. And you don't think I'm going to kick you out my store? What I'm saying is, I don't mind what other people are selling. But please don't buy that foolishness and come to my jewelry shop trying to sell it like it's a real Rolex. Perfect timing.
Facts.
That's my only problem. Don't buy the fake goods on Canal Street and try to resell it to me as if it's authentic. That's all I'm saying. I don't mind if you want to consume it. But don't come over here and try to, like you telling me something. They called Warwick Dunn to ask him, didn't they trade Warwick Dunn? I'm just asking.
Whoo! Something wrong with you.
Don't say it, didn't they?
Let me. Can I? You know, me and Juan, my guy. Can you look on that Juan one for me?
I'm sorry. He left. He left as a free agent. He was not traded, but he left as a free agent in 2002 and later returned to Buccaneers. Okay. Whew. Anyway, I got the schedule up whenever you want to talk about that. But yeah, let's do it.
Juan, real quick. If Shadeur would have went to Dallas, he's rookie of the year.
Where are you at? I want to pull his
he's right. Yeah. If Shadeur goes to Dallas, if there's no Dak, because if Dak is there, he's not playing. But if there was no Dak, let's say we traded Dak, got up to the third pick or first round or whatever, late first round, whatever, and we took Shadeur in the second, whatever. He goes to Dallas and he's the only quarterback. He's rookie of the year. You can't tell me no different. Because the one thing about Shadeur that I will always give him credit for is he's a chef that if you have the right ingredients, he's going to make you the best meal, right? He's going to make you the best meal. But he is not your grandmama where all you got is beans, salt, pineapple, and you say, hey, make me something. He's like, I don't know. That's not Shadeur. If you give Shadeur steak seasoning, potatoes, asparagus,
he'll cook it up for you.
He'll cook, boy, and you'll be like, oh my God, this is amazing. That is what Shadeur is. So if you would have put him on Dallas with George Pickens, if I'm being 100 with you right here, right now, I would take Shadeur Sanders as a rookie, then I would take Dak Prescott. And I'm being so serious when I say that. No trolling. I would take Shadeur Sanders right here, right now, over Dak Prescott in the Dallas Cowboy offense because I know what I'm going to get from Shadeur, and I know if the game gets close and it's in the fourth quarter, Shadeur is going to bring us out every single time. I don't have no worries about that. So, because I think with the way the Cowboys are built right now, we don't need a superstar quarterback. We just need a guy to distribute the ball and put it in CeeDee Lamb's hand, put it in George Pickens' hands, put it in Jake Ferguson's hands, hand the ball off to the 6 running backs that we have, right? Like, we're good to Jaden Blue that we got from Texas, Jaden, whatever his name is, right? Like,
yeah, Jaden Blue.
Yeah, we have the talent. We just need a facilitator, and that's what I would have preferred with Shadeur. So I wouldn't have been mad if we drafted him in the third round. I'm third, fourth, fifth. It wouldn't have bothered me. None.
So you saying it would be an equivalent to Joey Flacco at Baltimore?
Just like,
I'm asking because Joey Flacco, in my opinion, is what he was. He was a game manager. Didn't hurt the team, right? He ain't out there Brett Favre. He ain't trying to thread the needle. They had a great defense.
Oh yeah, when he was at Baltimore. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. When Joey Flacco,
Anquan, he had Anquan, all them boys. Yeah,
right.
Just a
See you
facilitator.
Tuesday, not NFL Tuesday.
Didn't we just talk about this, Scotty? Didn't we just talk about this right here?
Yeah.
We literally just talked about it. Appreciate you, man. Damn it, it's CU Tuesday night. Okay. It ain't even CU Tuesday. What's that stand for? Cleveland University? Oh. Anyway, appreciate you, LP, for the $2. But anyhow, I was just talking about in that sense. But let me go back to my hope I don't lose my eyebrows here, Scotty. All right, here we go.
Let's get it. So when's the first?
Okay, NFL game is the preseason is Panthers, Eagles, Rams. Okay, we got the Bengals here.
That's a loss.
Okay. Who you think starts? Flacco?
Yeah.
Who you think's out? Who you think doesn't make the cut before the season starts?
For the season? Oh, Kenny Pickett.
So Kenny Pickett catches the axe at preseason or before preseason?
I think Kenny. I'll say this. They're definitely not carrying 4 quarterbacks. That's unheard of. They're not doing that. I think that's a damn good question. Shit. I think you got to carry Kenny just to be.
So to me, I always felt like it was going to either be
Shadeur Dillon.
Shadeur Dillon, right?
Yeah. That's a damn good one.
I don't think Kenny Pickett's out the door because of experience.
That's what, and I was about to say that he's played in the NFL.
I mean, think about it. If Joey Flacco, break a shoelace, as I like to say.
I'll say this: how a true coach would do it is whoever plays better in preseason, they get the third spot. They'll get that third spot. So I think that's where you have to be up in arms with. And I think from what I've been seeing at OTAs, again, that's not training camp. It's football with no pads. You know what I'm saying? It's just air ball.
Can I say this? And this is gonna be, I ask one question every year. I mean, every time. And Shiloh, you've made me do this. I ask one question every time. What have I said tonight or any other night that makes me a hater? And I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to give y'all the secret sauce. I hope to God Shadeur get put on the practice squad. I'm fully hating on him. But here's why. But here's why. Because I want him to get the hell out of Cleveland.
Dog, that would be scary.
Only reason I'm saying
that would be
I
scary.
want him to get the hell out of Cleveland, dog.
But let me ask you this. Oh, let's stay there. Stay there with me, right? Let's say they put Dylan Gabriel on the active. They cut Shadeur. What if nobody picks him up on the waiver and he goes? If he makes it to Cleveland's practice squad, to me that is so diabolical. That you're telling me another 31 teams have an opportunity to pick him up and just put him on the practice squad, and they say no, thank you. And he goes back to the Cleveland practice. Oh, that's diabolical. Oh, that is diabolical.
Here's my thing, bro. And I said that because I don't want him at Cleveland. That is where your career goes to die. And the reason I know this, y'all know I watch NFL, but I don't follow it like that. But every person, it's something about Cleveland and Miami, either University of Miami players or kids, like they're players and they're from South Florida. Like that's their hometown. Dave, Broward, Palm Beach. I know, bro, I could name you 30 players that been to Cleveland at some point, whether they played at the University of Miami or they play somewhere else, but they're from South Florida. It's something about Cleveland that love those guys. Hell, I can look on my wall right here. Let me see here. Dwayne Bowe went to Cleveland. Duke Johnson, he went to Cleveland. Duke Johnson played at Cleveland. Let me see who else played at Cleveland. My man Devin Bush played at Cleveland. Daddy and son. His son, they're not at Cleveland. So my homeboy played at Florida State. He made a mistake, but that's all right. That's my dog. guess what? He played at Cleveland. His son Devin Bush, that played at Michigan, plays at Cleveland right now. Who else played at Cleveland? Damn it, did Richard play at Cleveland? I'm trying to think who else up here on this damn wall went to Cleveland.
Winslow.
Kellen Winslow went to Cleveland. Bro, it's something about them, bro. It make my skin crawl. Bernie Kosar. Yeah.
How I would play it if I'm Cleveland, how I would play it is I'll keep Shadeur on the active roster, put Dylan Gabriel on the practice squad because you know Dylan Gabriel coming back. You know what I'm saying? Because if you really think Shadeur is that guy and he has a chance to be that guy, you don't let him hit the waiver wire. You just can't, right? Because
that's fair.
That's how you got to do it, right? Because if you feel nobody's about it, Dylan Gabriel ain't about to have nobody jumping out their seat to go get him. But worst come to worst, even if you don't think Shadeur is the best quarterback, he's going to bring funds. He's going to bring funds to your. He could be on a practice squad bringing your franchise.
Yeah. Bro, I want him to go there. This is my hating statement. In 5 years of doing this show, here's my hating statement. Shadeur Sanders. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me big screen myself.
Go ahead. Do you think?
Shadeur Sanders, my brother. I need you to go to the Cleveland practice squad so you can get the hell out of Cleveland, dog. So you can come to the Miami Dolphins, and the real Colt members will hate me then. Because, boy, I'm going to add a straight donkey. But anyway.
You don't even watch the NFL, so what you talking about?
I will then. Huh?
Wow.
We're going to have we're going to have on Shadeur Sanders Sunday. That's what it's going to be called, Shadeur Sanders Sundays.
Shadeur Sanders Sundays. That's wild. What's that? S3? S3? That's what you going to call it? S3?
Yeah, and we going to Trick Daddy Restaurant Sundays to do the show live.
Hey, that's a vibe.
Yes, sir.
That's a vibe.
So, I'm just saying, man, I do wish him the best. Like I said, when you have this kind of world and people can now look into your lives, you do subconsciously, have an affinity for them. And I understand that. And I totally get it. But that's what it is, man. Let me put this schedule back.
Yeah, let's get to it.
All right, let me make it big. All right, here we go. So Cleveland Browns and the Bengals. All right. Oh, this is what I was asking. So Flacco starts the season?
Yep.
All right. You tell me when they make a quarterback change. Cleveland Bengals.
Mm-mm.
Ravens.
No.
Packers.
No.
Lions.
No.
Vikings.
No.
Steelers.
No.
That's game 6.
No.
And that's going to be a huge game because the Steelers should have drafted them in essence, right?
Facts.
Are those losses as well?
Yes.
Are you consider those?
Yeah.
So that's 6.
Yeah, they all losses.
So they 0-6 right now. A lot of mercy. So for my eyebrows to stay intact, he can't start the Dolphins game.
Okay. This is the kicker though. If I was bringing in a new guy, that would be the game that I would do it because it's a home game and it's not against a very, very high opponent, right?
Watch it now.
I'm just listen. They not that. They not that. Okay. So that would be a great either that game or the Patriots game because the Patriots are in the rebuild, right? So I think I think in that 3 area right there, I think it would be a great time to make that transition, but I would go with I would do it at the Dolphins because it's a home game and I want you to feel comfortable. I want you to feel, what I'm saying, it's you're not on the road. I want you to get comfortable. If I don't make the transition there, it's either the Patriots or the Jets. And after that, you're probably not doing it at all because you're going back through the AFC North, and that's crazy work.
All right, so here's my question. You said Shadeur coming in, Dolphins or Patriots.
Yeah.
But my question is, so you saying they go Joe Flacco to Shadeur or they skipping Pickett? I'm saying so there's no change from I'm saying Bengals, Ravens is Flacco.
Yep.
Packers, Flacco.
Yep.
Lions, Flacco.
Yep.
Vikings, Flacco.
Yep.
Steelers, Flacco.
Yep.
And then here's where you're saying they're gonna go. So they're gonna skip over Pickett then.
No. I mean,
Oh, you're saying they will put Pickett in.
They'll probably put Pickett in. Let him go. Let him ride it out, and then let me keep going down.
Okay, we got Patriots up next.
That's all losses.
Damn, dog, they ain't gonna win one game, dog. We on week 9.
That's all losses.
So the Jets. How about the Jets?
They might win that one.
And they still. And so you saying now they're at Pickett though? Still on Pickett.
Yeah.
Ravens
Loss. Still with Pickett.
The Raiders.
Go down a little further. I want to see. Yeah, I'll make the change at the Raiders. I would, because the season's over, right? Either you do it at the Titans, you do it with the Titans, or you do it at the Browns, right? I mean, you either do it with the Titans or you do it at the Raiders, because the season's over. You're not. There's no playoffs now. I just want to see what Shadeur can do. Right now, I put Kenny Pickett away, and I put Shadeur in on the Titans and the Bears, and I let him. I see what he can do. Do.
So to your point, Scotty, as I look at this, I think there's a lot of validity in what you're saying. Here's why I say that. Not because of my eyebrows. Hey, I'm gonna be wearing a hat like Jay-Z, boy, on the Black Album. I'm gonna be doing my show just like this.
Low end wise, you know what I'm saying? Those low end wise.
I'm be like, hey, they'll be like, dog, Coach ain't got no eyes. Ain't got no eyebrows either. But here's what I'll tell you. I like your train of thought, and I'm gonna tell you why. Let's speak hypothetically. Dylan Gabriel's practice squad guy. It is what it is. You know, Joey Flacco's on rental for a year. Kenny Pickett is a guy we got. Cool. I think you have given, to your point, enough time on task for both 1 and 2, Flacco, Pickett, to show their value. Right? To show their value. And because we haven't won any games, you've used all your coins. So now, because the season is longer, you said the Raiders. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Shadeur basically got a half of a 7-game season to show the Cleveland Browns organization that you don't need to go get Arch Manning. Or you do. I'm just saying, you have 7 games.
I forgot about Archie. Shit.
Yeah, but I'm saying you just gave me 7 games. You uninterrupted. Look, bro, we went through the first. We went through the second. I mean, look, you telling me Joey Flacco got one? Let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games. Then you bring in Pickett, the Dolphins. 1, 2, 3, 4. He got 4 games because he'd been there.
Yeah.
And then you're going to get Shadeur the last 7. Raiders, San Fran, Titans. You know you got to play against the Titans, dog, when they come to Cam Ward. So you know that's going to
be a great game.
Especially if you're in a crap season.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, the Titans, the Bears, the Bills, the Steelers again, and then the Bengals to finish it off.
So, but look how it sets up though. Put the schedule back up for me, Coach.
Sure.
These are one. You get the easy games, right? You get the Bears. You get the scroll for me a little bit. You get the Bears, and then you get the Titans. You get those easy games, right? But then you get to see what Shadeur is made of in the AFC North, playing against the Steelers and the Bengals. You get to see what he's like in the 2 biggest games that the Cleveland Browns have, right? And that's the part, because again, for the fans, you just want to see that Shadeur moxie. You want to see Shadeur. Right. You want to see Shadeur at his best and even at his worst still look like, okay, he's a franchise guy. So you give him those 2 games. If he pulls one out, oh my God, it's a wrap. All he has to do is win. He doesn't even have to win these games. If they're close, it's a win for Shadeur.
Yeah, I mean, I like that part. Shout out to my biggest hater, Melissa Porter, who I think is a dude. So the YouTube coach doing a whole videos to trash Shadeur and talk about Prime Health, which he doesn't have a clue about. God bless you. And you still come here every show to drop this off. Make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe button, Brother Porter. Anyway, yeah, Brother Porter. Real name Melvin, living in his mama basement, eating Cheez-Its, digging in his toes. But anyway, hey yo, what's up, baby? How you doing? So here's what I'm saying. I'm saying that to say I like that approach. You give them the rope to hang themselves. You give them the rope to say, because you know Flacco's a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
We know that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really Kenny Pickett's job to win or lose based on his play.
Yeah, and that's really what it comes down to. It's, are you going to play well enough that the Shadeur talk gets brought down, right? Like, if you go win, there is no Shadeur talk. It's very simple. It's no Shadeur talk. It's Kenny Pickett talk. But if you go out there and lose, and then you stink it up like you did at the Steelers, oh my God, it is Shadeur pandemonium. It's the Shadeur countdown at that point.
Yeah.
So, and if I'm being honest, I think the only reason the broomstick might not get pulled fast enough is because they don't want to be looked at as like, see, look, you drafted Shadeur in the 5th round and look, he's your starting quarterback. You get what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be that GM to have to hear that, like, we had Kenny Pickett, we drafted Dylan Gabriel. We put Dylan Gabriel, the 3rd rounder, on the practice squad. And we kept the 5th rounder. And now we're going to the 5th rounder to be our starting quarterback. It looks bad. It looks bad.
And see, bro, this is the whole debacle. Because again, optics matter. So now, when he goes out there and he shines, that ain't good enough. So now, guess what the people are going to say? People are mad how them other people spent their money, and they're going to be like, see, I told you he should have been starting since day one.
Yeah.
Okay. We said the same thing about Tyler Van Dyke at Miami. Because what people don't understand is when you come in as a backup, there's really no pressure. Where Shadeur shines, believe this or not, and this happened to us with De'Aaron King and Tyler Van Dyke. When De'Aaron King got hurt, Tyler Van Dyke had no pressure. He's just a guy coming off. If he won, great. If he didn't, he's the backup.
He didn't expect it. Yep.
If Shadeur loses, guess what?
5th rounder.
He was a 5th rounder, but not only that, we lost with an old championship. Everybody had to bring a Super Bowl winning quarterback and a 1st rounder Kenny Pickett. What y'all expect? He's just starting. But if he wins, he had no pressure anyway. I like that he starts week 8.
I bet you do.
You caught that? You caught that?
I bet you do.
You like that? You caught that one?
You on eyebrow watch. That's what you on. You on eyebrow watch.
Actually, he could come in the second play of week 7.
Because he ain't start.
He ain't start. Listen, he could come in. He could come in the second play of game 7. Hopefully, he come to practice just 1 minute late, and coach will be like, "You got a 1-play punishment, sir, for coming to our practice 1 minute late."
Need it. Hey, real quick, shout out to my guy Fat Cat, man.
Where's Fat Cat? Okay.
Hope everything's well with you and your family down in Orlando, man. Text me sometime, Fat Cat.
He in my neck of woods, man.
Yeah, he in Tampa. I think he in Tampa. Yeah, they in Tampa.
Okay. Yeah. Cool, man. Nah, this is fun, man. You ready to get onto this phone line a little bit?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's see what.
Well, I tell you this, that doggone Google man been waiting for you. Now he a Dallas Cowboy fan. He from Dallas.
Okay.
So I'm gonna let you. I'm just saying, Google man been on here. I ain't even put the phone number up, as you see.
He say, "I'm ready."
Google man been on here at least 45 minutes to an hour. Ever since you started talking about Dak Prescott. Oh. Scotty?
I just keep it real.
All right. I got to make sure I got my timer right. Did my timer work on this doggone thing? All right, hold on. I got to make sure I got my timer right, Lord, because the time ain't okay. Oh, the timer working. All right, I got 2 minutes. All right. I had to make sure, Scotty. Big Tiger on the line, too. Them boys biting already. I ain't even got the phone number up.
I think Carson Beck is not the guy. I'm going to just say that right now.
862-799-9956 is the phone number. Go ahead and call on them. We're going to give people 2 minutes because it's more than just myself on here. Google man, what's up, baby? I'm going to move out the way. You got it.
Coach, it's going to be more than 2 minutes right now. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be more than 2 minutes. And Strip, I've talked to you before. I'm the dude that come on there stuttering. I had a stroke. So I came on your show about 2-3 years ago.
Okay.
Now, Dak Prescott, dude, you were dead wrong. Of course, I'm not trying to change your mind because Cowboy fans, believe you me, I've been going through this since the last 3 years with Cowboy fans. Had the fan base and cannot stand the dude. 2 years ago, he down there where he should have won MVP. MVP is a regular season award. Lamar Jackson had under 30 touchdown passes. Dak Prescott down there through with 35 touchdowns and 6-7 interceptions. Playoff game we lost. The defense didn't show up. Didn't nobody show up that playoff game. But Dak Prescott, he do make players better. Go back to 2021. Cedric Wilson had his best career wide receiver. Now also think about this shit. Amari Cooper, when he played for the Raiders, he wasn't that good. Now, he was a first-round draft pick, but he wasn't showing up. Came here, ball out. Now what he been doing since he been gone? Nothing. So Dak Prescott, he does make some players better. But the thing about him is this. I've been trying to tell my homeboy this. I done seen less quarterbacks win Super Bowls because teams win Super Bowls.
Okay, Google.
Yeah, I'm hyped. Yes, I'm all that because Dak Prescott get all this hate. Another thing about this, he was 4th round. Didn't nobody think he gonna start. So them first 4 years he played for us, he was underpaid. Then as soon as he get paid, everybody start hating on him.
Google.
They stay Cowboy fans.
Google. Let's have
he made players better.
Let's have a civilized conversation, right? I'm gonna go by point for point, right? Now, there's a thing in the NFL where you can have one great season and then go get paid. And there's nothing wrong with Cedric Wilson having a great season and going to get paid. I have no issues with that. But let's be very clear. Context matters. The reason Dallas went out and got Amari Cooper is because Dak Prescott was struggling. Let's be very clear about that.
I'll let you. Hold on, Google man. Google man. You got to go both for as a computer. Go ahead.
I'll let you go. Right. I'll let you go. Right. So let's be very clear about why they brought in Amari Cooper, because he was struggling with getting the ball out of his hand and completing passes. That's why they brought in Amari Cooper. Let's be very clear. And the second point of that.
That's not the case.
That was the case.
The case was before that season started.
That was the case.
That's reason. In 2018, the Cowboy tried, and I swear to God, Michael Irvin said before that season, he said, "What the hell the Cowboys doing?" The Cowboy tried to come up with a new idea with a wide receiver what they call it, like the backfield, and out of wide receiver we had that season was terrible. Another thing is this. Like everybody say this about Dak Prescott. Why need help? Everybody need help. Like the Eagles made the trade. The Eagles made the trade for Brown and
15 seconds.
And they got better. So at the end of the day, and also true story. Last season, before the season started, I'm here in Dallas. I watch all the news. I watch all the Cowboy YouTubers. Jerry Jones, just check out his mouth. First of all, the real problem is the management. But the management said last season, Dak Prescott, like this what they say. They said Dak Prescott got to do what they said. Dak Prescott got to do more or less. So And last season he had less. Only option he really had was CD Lamb.
All right, Google man. We're gonna do the rebuttal. We got other callers. Scotty, you got to rebut that. So
Okay, I'm a rebuttal real quick. I'm gonna try to rebuttal the whole thing in the situation, and I'm gonna get it. When Zeke got suspended for those 6 games, the offense was ass with Dak. Let's be honest with that. Let's go forward. Let's have a comparison. What the quarterback did at Green Bay, what he did for his team with a bunch of so-so receivers, is what Dak Prescott should have done in the playoff game. You're saying nobody showed up. I'm paying you at that time, we were paying him $40 million, and you don't show up at a home game when you were in the running for an MVP? That is asinine. And not only did you get mollywhopped, you threw like 2 pick sixes. And let's not forget the 49ers game when he did the exact same
He
thing.
threw 1 pick 6 in that game. And yes,
Same thing against the 49ers. Again, Dak Prescott, I don't give a damn how much Dak Prescott.
All right, hold on.
Dak is not a winner. Dak is not a winner, and you're not going to ever get me to change my mind. He's not a winner.
Hey man, see me. So also now the first
Google man,
the first playoff game in Dallas, that game right there. Now you ain't gonna bring up the fact the Cowboys had 14 penalties. They gave up 5 sacks. Didn't get no sacks, and also Randy Gregory. I never get this shit. That dude got a freaking 15-yard penalty of DN on tackle the offensive tackle on 3rd down. Every playoff game, something happened. Well, I'm trying to say this. I don't think that Prescott the quarterback all the time, but he's not no bum. Like in Dak Prescott, every season he's been around.
All right, last line.
Listen, Google. I'm not saying I will never say Dak's a bum. All I'm telling you is, and I will stand on this, he's not worth $60 million. He's not worth that. I don't give a damn what you talk about. I don't get. There's nothing for $60 million.
There you go. So here's what I love about community. Hold up, Google man. Do you agree he's worth $60 million?
No, not at all.
Hold up, real quick. This is what I love about communication. I let them ride. Both of my dogs went around the world, and at the end of the day, this is why I love communication. They both agree. They arguing really about nothing. That at the end of the day, Dak Prescott ain't worth the $60 million that the Cowboys paying him. Scotty said he ain't worth $60 million. Google man agreed he ain't worth $60 million. So at the end of the day, but I'm just saying, this is why I love communication. And sometimes 2 people agree. Sometimes you got to just get it off your chest. And then when a person like me as a mediator here, wait a minute, you just said he ain't worth $60 million. And our Google man said, yeah, he ain't worth $60 million. I know. I'm like, well, then what y'all arguing about? Absolutely nothing. Google man, I love you.
No. What I'm arguing about is this. I do believe that Prescott can win a Super Bowl with us, because I've seen so many teams win Super Bowls with less quarterback play. Thing is though, I seen the Cowboys win 3 Super Bowls in the 90s. Everybody stepped up in the playoffs. We need to be ready to play in the playoffs. Michael Parsons need to do his thing. The cornerbacks, like for example,
take a team effort. Google man, love you, dog. I got the callers on here, man. I promise you. Hot dog. Right. I love you, dog. You know I love you, Google man. Yeah, Google man ready. He ready too, boy. But here's the point, though. But to the point, that's why I kind of let it go, because I wanted people to show how communication works. He gonna be heated because he got his point of view. You gonna say what you gotta say because you got your point of view, and at some point in that conversation, y'all gonna agree on the main thing, which was what? He ain't worth $60 million.
Right, which means I was right, because he ain't worth $60 million.
So here go the thing. So like Google man said, Dak Prescott could win you a Super Bowl. Here's how I look at it. Okay, if you pay him 30, I could use the other 30.
Thank you.
Buy him more help.
Thank you.
That's how I'm looking at it. So both of y'all are saying he's not worth $60 million. And he said he could win a Super Bowl. Does he have enough talent to win a Super Bowl? Probably so, but you got to buy additional help. He don't have enough. He can't Brett Favre and do it on his own, right? He needs additional.
Yeah.
Well, Patrick Mahomes. There you go. That's a better one. I just use Brett Favre from Outcast. Maybe say I'm out here Brett Favre to see if I still got it. I got you.
I think that my key is this, and I'll give you a perfect example, and we can move on to your
coming to you, Tiger. Give me 1 second.
I look at it, the Patrick Mahomes and the San Francisco when they had Jimmy Garoppolo. You remember that Super Bowl? Patrick Mahomes goes down and score with about 3 minutes left in the game. I looked at my wife. She was my girlfriend at the time, but I looked at my wife and I said, this game is over. Jimmy Garoppolo is not about to bring them down and score. That's how I feel about Dak Prescott.
Dang.
That's how I look at Dak Prescott. If you put him in that now, mind you, flip it. Dak Prescott goes down and score with 3 minutes left in the game, and Patrick Mahomes is on the other side. What are you going to say, Coach?
No, you're right. You're like, they got a chance.
They got a chance. That is what
you're not saying they will do it, but you feel favorable.
I feel good. If I'm a Patrick Mahomes fan, I feel good. I feel real good. Patrick gonna have to prove to me that he can't do it before I say he won't. But that's how I feel about it.
And you know what's funny? That's back to perception, right? Because it's funny when you think that way, when you think about sport. I've seen so many people like, say, for example, somebody scored 2-minute drill, literally, 148 on the clock, blah, blah, blah. They down by 4. They got to score. Field goal ain't going to do it. You got to get a touchdown to win. You can look at fans that really know. They'll be like, man, we got this. Like you say, hey, my homeboy ready. My homeboy ready. My homeboy ready. And then you see the other dude and you like, come on, man. Or you're begging, that one of the receivers make a dude miss. It's not the quarterback you're rooting on. You're rooting at the other guy. You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, can he get it to CD Lamb? And CD Lamb can make a dude miss. I get where you're going. I get what you're going.
Exactly how I feel.
Let me get Tiger on the line, man. Tiger, what's up with you, baby? Neck bone, call back in.
Yo. I hear y'all over here, man. Y'all was going good for a minute.
Hold up, Tiger.
Just start sliding up into the ditch.
Nah, hold on. I got a quick question. Scotty, you said at the time your wife at the time was your girlfriend. Did she still have that dog on Ohio State cup?
Dog, she recently bought that. She bought that like right before they won the championship.
Okay. All right. Okay, I had to get out of my chest. I can't stand Ohio State. But anyway, Tiger, we slid into a ditch. What ditch we in, man?
Yeah, man, y'all start going into the hater zone for a second. Now I was like, okay, now I know Scotty give HBCU all kind of hell. I know that's what he do. And Coach Hayes, I know what you do. But
what I do?
Y'all started off kind of good.
What I do?
Okay. Let me.
Hold on. Do I have to hit you with the line? Hold on. Let me hit you with the line. What have I said tonight or any other night that makes me a hater besides what I said about him going to the practice squad so he can leave Cleveland? Tell me one thing I've said tonight.
Because one time y'all was like, he kind of went in the 5th round. That was kind of like a good spot. But both of y'all came back and said, well, we'll love to have him on our team. We'll love to have him on our team. Oh, we'll go trick that spot and do the game and trick, man. Both of y'all want him, but y'all saying, oh, yeah, going in the 5th round, that's right where he's supposed to be. Come on, man. Come on now.
That's not true. I did not say that he was supposed to be in the 5th round. I even said to you, no, at the beginning, Scott even asked me when you were surprised. I said at the end of day 2, I was in shock. I clearly said that to Tiger.
And I said Shadeur is a 2nd or 3rd round pick. I've always said that.
See how y'all try to come on here?
Scotty, you said if he did this, if he did that, he could have worked his stuff up into the 2nd or 3rd round.
No. I said hold on. I'm very particular about my words. I said when I first evaluated Shadeur, I've always felt he was a 2nd round to 3rd round pick. And I've always said that. And that's here on my channel, whatever. What I said is that if he would have done things like throw at the East and West Shrine Bowl, if he would have thrown at the Senior Bowl, it wouldn't have dropped him like it did because people had questions about certain things. And you can't have that BYU game be your last game. And you don't want to participate in nothing else. That's what I said.
That's exactly because he didn't say. I'm just saying he didn't say build him up. He said it would have sustained him at the 2nd or 3rd round.
That's what I'm saying.
But y'all be half listening, Tiger.
I got. Hold on. Let me hit these points because I don't want to take up too much of y'all time because I know we on the time limit. But BYU game, I was gonna make a video about this, but I didn't because I didn't want to mess up his draft stats or whatever, his stock or whatever. But he got a concussion in that BYU game. And like the first quarter or the second, I think it was in the third quarter, third or the second series, he got a concussion. And you can see it one time when Travis was yelling at him about why you didn't throw me the ball. Shadeur was kind of out of it that game. And if y'all go back and see it, his head hit the turf and he got a concussion, but he wasn't coming out last game with his dad. He wasn't coming out. So let's move on past that.
You talking about BYU?
Scotty, the BYU in the bowl game.
Yeah, he was jacked up. I remember that game. He was jacked up, but that's why I say he tough as nails. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. So that's kind of.
Was that before or after the pick six? Was that before or after the pick six?
It started clearing up for him.
Was that before or after the pick six? I'm confused.
It was. I can't remember. I know it was around my second series.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I wanted clarification, but go ahead.
Yeah. He was dazed that first half. The second half, he kind of cleared up.
So you basically hold on. So are you saying that Coach Prime will put his son in risk and danger and bypass the medical staff just so they could have a last moment?
He did it multiple times. He brought Shiloh back early both times when we was like, he need to stay out. He don't need to play the Nebraska game. He was out there, broke his arm. Then he came at that Kansas game. We were like, look, he can bring him in here now. He let Shiloh play the whole game. He was winded, looked bad a few times. So he Prime is done. When Shadeur had to mess up back, he was still out there. Until after the Cam Ward game. That's when he really pulled it.
Back.
Yeah. He will play hurt.
Spinal, like Mike Tyson said.
I broke my back.
I broke my back. Spinal.
Well, all right, so hold on. And Scotty, I shot out. Now, I didn't know you played ball. Now, I thought you were playing you was in a band.
Hell no. I hate
HBCU, and you started talking about sports. I was like, Scotty actually know a lot of stuff. Like, how does this band member know all this stuff? I didn't know that, dog. I didn't know that.
I hate the band. I listen. I don't understand the whole band, the whole situation around the band. I hate when people talk about it. You know, I like music, but it ain't that serious for me. Yeah, I played D2 college football for a little bit until I went to the military. So yeah.
Okay. All right, you can smoke straight. Because I said he's spitting some now. He'll get to it some days. I'm like, I didn't know a band member knew all this stuff. Okay, all right, you stepped in now. You stepped in. All right. Well, let me keep going down, y'all. All right. Y'all keep talking about Cleveland, and y'all started sounding like the lady, the reporter at Cleveland, when she was saying, like, Shadeur is killing it right now. Mm-hmm. We can say it's 7-on-7, all that kind of stuff. He's like 40 for 50. He threw one pick that the wide receiver, it touched his hands first. He bobbed the ball, and they caught a pick. All these other quarterbacks, his numbers look way better. Dylan is under 50% right now. Like, these dudes look like trash. Joe Flacco already been in Cleveland before, and they booted him out. Pickens was at some team. We don't even know he was just hit. He didn't get to play over there. He got booted out at the Steelers. So why are we trying to keep putting these dudes in front of the Shadeur when Shadeur is the only one that's shown last 2-3 years that he can put a team on his back and change the narrative?
Team on his okay.
So here's what I'll say. Can I just answer this quickly, Tiger? The problem is, here's what you just said. Let's just take what you said, because I don't know who this lady reporter is who y'all speak of. I don't know who she is. Here's what I do know. I think the problem that people, I won't say you, but I'll just say people misunderstand is when we speak, we're not speaking of what should be. We speak of what is. For example, how many times we got to keep telling y'all it's about power. They will lose games just not to show that you're right. Do y'all understand? Like,
I got you.
So when you keep saying, or I'm just saying because you just said this, you said that y'all keep saying that because Shadeur got the better number, why he not? Because optically, Scotty even just said it. What do they look like going in week 2 with the 5th round draft pick?
Like a team that's trying to change their organization around.
But that's your problem. But stop right there. That's your problem. Y'all are so infatuated with Shadeur. You think that a program that's been doing this for 30 years. I just showed you all the quarterbacks. I was stand corrected. I said 4 Heisman Trophy. They actually have 5 Heisman trophies on their team, and they never decided to change around. So you think, why? Because a guy got #1 jersey sales, they gonna change? They are who they are, dog. They made $690 million last year. I keep telling y'all that. They're not gonna all of a sudden change. That's why I want him to go to the practice squad. So,
besides Baker,
Johnny Manziel
and Manziel, and even Manziel and Baker, to me, they had question marks.
It don't matter. They were Heisman Trophy. It doesn't matter. I was just saying they've had to play. Yeah, but you can't say that because they don't know. What I'm saying is they had Heisman. What I'm saying is they've had the gambit of quarterbacks from the Heisman Trophy winners to the Mr. Irrelevance, and nothing has changed. And they've had 5 Manziel. They've had Manziel, RG3, Baker Mayfield. Who was the other guy I saw on there? Jameis Winston.
You said the Jameis, but all them guys, they journeymen now, besides the first two. And the first two had major question marks coming into the league. Both of them did.
Okay, you're right, dog. I'm not saying
I know I'm right on that.
I know, but what I'm trying to tell you is I'm not saying that they were at the pinnacle. I'm saying they've had everybody. They've had top players, bottom players, mid quarterbacks. What I'm asking you, through all of the 40 quarterbacks or 30 quarterbacks that's on the back of that man's shirt, has their philosophy changed as a program?
I don't think it has. I don't think it has, but this is what I'm saying about the quarterbacks they have brought in. They have never brought in a stud quarterback, a guy that really...
That's a lie. Baker Mayfield had a better career in college than Shadeur Sanders. What are we talking about right now?
Baker Mayfield was a gimmick kind of guy to me. He was like, his arm wasn't that strong. He thought he could run, but he really couldn't run. I was like, Baker he was on better teams in college than most of the people he played against. He had a better team. Can we not say that?
No.
In Oklahoma, it was him in Texas. Who else in the Big 12 had a team that could compete with Oklahoma?
I know you're not talking, because Shadeur just went against the weakest Big 12 in history. In history.
It's not Oklahoma's roster, though.
This nigga. Sir,
I told you.
Let me say this. Let me go back to your original point, because you're about to slide into a ditch. Your original point is, why would they not start Shadeur? It's a bad look for the GM, right? The bad look for the GM is that if I drafted a 5th round guy and you're telling me the 5th round guy is better than everybody we got on staff, and when everybody thought the 5th round guy should have went 2nd or 3rd or 1st, it makes the GM look bad. Now, it's great that we have you, but it still makes you look bad. That's why you got to give everybody else an opportunity to be great, because you can't look like the idiot who drafted Dillon Gabriel over Shadeur when you could have had Shadeur in the 3rd, and now you use your 5th round for somebody else. You see what I'm saying? So again, it's one of those situations like if you work the job, Tiger, if you work the job and you vouch for somebody, you're going to give that person that you vouch for an opportunity to show why you vouch for them. You're not going to set them up for failure. So that's all the GM is going to try to do. He's going to try to set up Kenny Pickett. He's going to try to set up Dillon Gabriel or Shadeur, whichever one. So it doesn't look like he made a bad choice. But then I how things happen and how things transpire, it might go that way. Well, Shadeur probably ends up as a starting quarterback. But for you to get on this line and say Shadeur Sanders is the best thing that's walked into Cleveland, you're smoking crack.
Baker Mayfield, that's your answer. Baker Mayfield is better than Shadeur. That's your answer.
Yes. Coming out of college, absolutely. And he did, and if we're being honest, he's done more for Cleveland since he's in his short stint at Cleveland. He did more for Cleveland than any other quarterback has done in the last 6-7 years.
Well, look what he had around him. He had 2 good running backs. He had a wide receiver that was like a 100-ball guy, Landry. Then he had Odell Beckham, and they had a 1st-round tight end. On top of that, ran a 4-4. Like, he had everything.
and it's still Cleveland. Are we
But I'm
not
so.
this bad?
But my thing is, why is that always the argument that Shadeur is like just a pauper? Like he always gets his cupboard, but he didn't have anything. And look what I'm telling y'all guys. It's football. It's the NFL. It's very little. Like to say they don't have nobody. I don't think Cleveland is going to change. Like they're the Browns because they're a big doodle spot, dog. Like that's why they're the Browns. They're the doodle Browns. They have not changed. You went and got Johnny Manziel. You didn't change. You went and got Baker Mayfield. You even went and got DTR, Dorian Thompson, Robbins, whatever his name is. They don't change. They are who they are. They're going to be what they're going to be, and it's because I believe upper management is terrible. I literally seen it with my beloved Miami Hurricanes. Until upper management decides to make a change, you're going to be you're going to be who you're going to be. That's just it. That's how I look at it.
I got you on that. All right, so let's move on. Let's move on to this Cam and Shadeur situation. All right. Like y'all realize Shadeur told Cam to come back last year. He said, Cam, you should come back one more year, play one more year, and take the stock up. And Cam listened to him. They work out together. So he came back.
You heard this out of Shadeur's mouth? You heard that personally?
On the tapes they were talking about it, like on the, how they do the little interviews and what stuff like that. Yeah, Shadeur said. Yeah.
Okay, that's factual. So what? But what are they gonna do to be a better quarterback?
I'm sorry, I just want to.
All right. So a lot of people have said if you put Shadeur on that Miami team,
there we go.
He would have took them boys all the way. Now I can't say that because when things change, you never know what happens. But we all know. I seen one play when Cam was walking. He was walking on the field and just looking around like he was in the the living room looking for the remote control. And he just threw the ball to the running back in the back. Like Shadeur has never had that kind of time. So with what Cam had, he had a better overall team than Shadeur. And he still lost to Georgia Tech. He almost lost a bunch of other games, did one for the referees, and he got smacked by Syracuse. And Fred Brown is gonna be the first coach to win the national title. I'm saying it here first. Y'all hear me? Hear me. Fran Brown, Syracuse is going to be the first person to win the national title. But what I give Shadeur over Cam Ward is he has that it factor. At the end of the game, he finds a way to pull out some games that you don't think they should win. You've seen it a lot of times. He'll pull it out.
So you just contradicted yourself. You just contradicted. You just contradicted yourself. You said all that, and then you said the reason I give him Cam over there is because he got the it factor.
Well, I'm saying Shadeur has the it factor, and maybe I said it wrong.
Okay.
Shadeur has the it
you didn't say that. You said the reason I give Cam. Okay, but let me rebut a little bit what you said. First of all, I think you would have had the same result because offense was never the problem. Defense. Miami had the number one offense. No, we didn't break 100 school records, but we had the number one offense scoring in college football. Bro, we lost to Georgia Tech 24-23. I get that, right? But at the end of the day, we're averaging 35, 38 points a game.
And y'all schedule was mean.
I know, but our defense, listen, our defense, it doesn't matter. Do you know it doesn't matter in college football if you win 41-42?
I get that.
I know.
You play against the School of Blind, you can score 50 points real easy.
And who y'all play?
Oh, no. Thank you. You losing to Kansas. You losing to Nebraska.
Who y'all play?
What are you talking about?
We played that was ranked. We played so many teams that were ranked last year. Don't do this, y'all. Don't do this. We played so many teams that were
This is what I love about y'all. Y'all love to use the rank when the narrative fits, and you love to use the team. So here's a perfect one. Watch this. I'm going to give you a perfect example, Scotty. The top 4 teams last year coming in were the bottom 4 teams in y'all conference this year. Right? The top 4 teams in your conference, Oklahoma State, what was it? Oklahoma State, Kansas State, Utah, right? Those were the top. Oklahoma State crapped the bed. Crap the bed, bro. I'm not knocking them. See, that's the thing, though. But I'm not taking away credit because they were bad. But y'all want credit for ranked teams.
No, I'm just saying y'all play against some teams that wasn't even close to being ranked, and you bragging about how many points y'all scored. You're supposed to score this many points when you're playing against Fort Valley State. You supposed to do that.
Oh, that's
Leave my HBCUs alone. That's messed up.
disrespectful because he didn't play no Fort Valley State, but that's crazy. But y'all
almost lost to North Dakota State, which is close.
You're in thrillers with North Dakota State. You're in thrillers with Baylor. You're in thriller. Like, what are we? You lose to Kansas. You get mollywopped by Nebraska, which was like the last team in the Big Ten, second to last team in the Big Ten. What are we talking about right now, my guy?
Shiloh got hurt that game and Shadeur threw a pick six that game. That was a devastating game right there. That was yeah.
Let's not talk about the Mormons that beat you. Let's not talk about the Mormons that dragged you up and down Utah. Okay, the Mormons
old and Shadeur had a concussion. But hold on. Let me
see. There's always an excuse when they have it. Like, that's the part that don't get me. Texas Tech, they ain't do nothing this year. UCF crapped the bed this year. And I'm not taking credit from Colorado. That's the problem. But y'all quick to take credit from everybody else or making this. Oh, the reason they win because Shadeur had a concussion. Sir, I don't care if you had two Shadeurs out there. BYU was whipping that ass.
Hey, you say that. But they got a better team. They've been together longer, so it is what it is. But let me say this. Let me say this about Prime. And I noticed this during the draft weekend. He was kind of he wasn't kind of. I was like, is he hurt because of what's going on with his boys? But I noticed he wasn't his normal self. He wasn't talking as much. And then I noticed in the Asante Samuel interview how he had the shades on and he had the sweater on. Like, he got a sweater on in the summertime. Like, so most time when people sick, they don't want you to see if they losing weight. They get big clothes on and he had the shades on. Like, he in the inside with shades on. Like, he trying to cover up. He don't want you to see his face or whatever. And then
he always got shades on. He do his press conference with shades on. Tiger, stop this, dog.
Yeah, but no, he does press conferences like he just come up practice field after a game. He's doing a interview with a guy. Like, he at his own house. He inside the house with shades on. Like, he's normally he's not like that when he's on with Shannon Sharp and stuff. So this time I noticed he had the shades on.
All right.
And the sweater on in the house.
In the house.
So I was like, okay, like he's trying to cover up. He don't want people to see how much weight he done lost.
Yeah. Did you notice that he had that sauna suit underneath that joint? You noticed that too?
No, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, he had the sauna suit underneath of it, so you couldn't really see him sweating, to kind of get all that stuff up out of him. Yeah, he had the sauna suit on too as well. Yeah. And he had the wristbands on too.
Here we go.
And you know what the dude told me?
Here we go.
That he also threw out his toenail clippers.
Here we go. So see.
But I'm saying, Tiger, how do y'all come to all these conclusions, though? But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry. Finish your point, brother.
But he's sick now. But so I was noticing this, and when they sold out, most of the time they sell out, he'll do a video, kind of jamming a little bit, like, yeah, when they sold out. But this time they sold out, I ain't see nothing. So I was just like, man, what's going on with Bucky? Like, why they ain't posting that video? And people like, Tucker, why you hating? They don't have their time off. I'm like, no, something ain't right. They ain't pumping out the videos like how they normally pump out the video. Now I see why. Junior taking care of his dad. He worried about his dad right now.
Can I ask you a question? Let me ask you real quick before I know Coach about to let you go. If Shadeur gets the start and he does bad, because I know what you're projecting, right? But in projecting, you got to go both ways. You got to play devil's advocate. If he gets the starting job and he does bad, then what? What's your excuse?
Now, if he does bad, well, one, I'll say they still need a better receiving core. They got one good receiver. Like, I don't know anybody else in that receiving core. With those picks they got next year, I hope they show up the receiving core and maybe give him another offensive line. I think the offensive line, they got like 3 guys that's good on the offensive line. So they pretty good on offensive line, but just give him some more weapons at wide receiver for next year. That's all. But I mean, if you look at what he's doing, he got way better numbers than everybody else. Like Joe Flacco, if it's 7-on-7, and if it's so easy, Joe Flacco should have the same kind of numbers as Shadeur, but he don't.
Okay, you're right.
Kenny Pickett, he should have the same kind of numbers as Shadeur, but he doesn't.
You're right.
Dylan Gable should be way over 50%. He under 50%. But I saw that, and when y'all talking about the GM, I saw that the dude was struggling on his highlight tape. I'm looking at some of the plays he making. I'm like, look, he's making some plays, but he's stumbling. He's struck. I'm seeing he's stretching as hard as he can and trying to make the play, squinting, trying to throw the ball. Like, he giving it everything he got. And they didn't make a lot of noise at Oregon. So when he get to the NFL, he got to play on a higher stage. He just did the best he could at Oregon with that great team and couldn't make it far in the playoffs. So
Tiger, don't do that.
He's not going to be an NFL star.
See, can I say this? Here's my only thing about this, and I've said this too about quarterbacking and this beloved game of football. We treat the quarterback position like it's a game of tennis, like it's just Venus or Serena, right? Or it's Tiger Woods, just golf. You're not playing this game by yourself, right? Because here's the beauty in those statements. If you would have flipped it around, you know what you would say? Man, Shadeur threw the ball, but first thing you did, you excused his interception, which is fair. But you made it clear there was a reason. Hold on, wait. Yes, you did. No, I know, but you made it clear why there was an interception. You wanted to make sure everybody knew it wasn't Shadeur's fault. Right? Hear me out. But when other teams, it's his fault. You give no clarity. And I understand you're not fans of those guys. I'm cool with that. But I'm bringing that back to say this. The thing that I find so funny about this game is everybody says, oh, the quarterback didn't win no game. He didn't do this. But it ain't tennis or golf. It ain't a one-man game. We literally saw that at Miami. Bro, if you put up 30, 40, 50 points in college football, you should not lose those football games. You should not.
Tell me this right, what we just said about Mahomes.
I know, but let me finish.
If Mahomes got the ball. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. So my last piece is, when you talk about other teams and they got all this talent, it's not always the quarterback's fault. That's my whole deal.
I got you.
But but when people do this, everybody wants to blame the quarterbacks. And I understand why. They're the face of the program, they get the most money out of. But as football guys, I expect better. As football fans, that's expected. That's all I'm saying.
Well, and let me bring this back to Scotty for the reason why he wanted to throw at his pro day at home first. Now you're aware Colorado put more wide receivers in the league last year than any other team, right? He wanted all the people to come to see him throw with his guys. I want to put my guys on display, and they all got picked up. So Shadeur is I'll put myself in the back burner to help my teammates. He's been doing that, like we've seen it time and time again. He's done that. So, I mean, like the tight end that left, he brought him furniture. Jordan Seaton, he got him the Maybach, got it for him, rented it for him, whatever he did. He gave him keys. He always makes sure his teammates are in a good spot. Like Shiloh just gave all them boys Apple Watches the other day. So they try to give back to the team and put themselves second for the greater good of the team. You giving rich people an Apple Watch. All right. So here's what I'm gonna say, Scotty.
You brought up Dillon Gabriel. Dillon Gabriel threw for 3,800 yards, 3,857, 72.9% completion rating. All right? I'm just saying 6 interceptions, and he threw for 30 touchdowns. I think he did his job. I'm just trying to say that it's so easy, and this is the thing where I don't like people try to and Shadeur, and even Bucky said, y'all don't have to tear down Gabriel to build up Shadeur. And why do people do this? Why do people tearing Dillon Gabriel down to try to build up Shadeur when they damn near 72.9%? He probably didn't take nowhere near the kind of sacks he took. Threw 447 times. But nobody wants to talk about his 72.9% completion rating. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to say Dillon is better than Shadeur, but why do everybody try to tear down this dude like he was throwing for 41%?
No, what I'm saying is I saw him play, and I see he was maxed out at the college level. When you max out at the college level, when you get to the NFL, all players say it's faster. So if you go into a game that's faster and you already maxed out now, it's going to be bad for you.
Okay.
It's going to be bad.
All right.
He under 50%. On 7%.
Can I?
Knock yourself out. I'm done.
Can I say this? This is the part where I get what Coach be like, football guys and like football fans, right? Tiger, if you say you're a football guy, right? Because you're like, oh, Scotty, I thought you were in the band. Like, I don't know. This is the part where you got to understand. Dylan Gabriel's strengths, they don't show up in 7-on-7. I'm going to say that again.
Real runner.
Okay. So if Shadeur is a thrower, a pocket passer, where do you think he feels more comfortable at? Maybe playing 7-on-7 in shorts in OTAs, which every quarterback should. I'm not saying that what Shadeur isn't doing is not good. It is. But at the end of the day, when the pads come on and his O-line can't hold up and you see Dylan Gabriel break out and run for 10, 15, 20, 30 yards when the play wasn't there, that's where you see the benefit of having a Dylan Gabriel. On the same token, if the play breaks down and Shadeur does what he did in Colorado, where he'll go left, go right, dive, move, swim, move, try to get around and make that magical throw, and it doesn't go his way in the NFL, then you can look back and say, hey, that's what made Shadeur a problem in college as well. Now he's bringing it to the NFL. So I do think that both of these guys have strengths and weaknesses that will show up in the NFL in different aspects. But to me, until the preseason is played, like, again, when you play, and Coach knows, we have these things called practice all-stars, right? Where you just know the guy I'm going against, he's not as good as me. I'm gonna beat you off the line. I'm gonna do what I do, and I'm gonna beat you deep or whatever, right? Because I've played against you enough times. I know what I'm good at. I know what you're good at, whatever. The real time where you'll see the best of Shadeur and the best of Dylan Gabriel is when the preseason hits and there's another person on the opposite side of the field, and we'll see then. I'm not saying Shadeur won't be great, and I'm not saying Dylan Gabriel won't be great. What I'm saying is their strengths of what they do well will show up in the game in the preseason, and they just play the game differently. So you got to respect that. And I think you got to let it play out. You're talking about 7-on-7 OTAs that he got 50%. Well, what if Shadeur gets into the preseason game and he goes 9 for 17 and for 123 with an interception? Then what? All that OTA stuff don't matter. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's how quick the narrative can change.
And they'll change it too. It doesn't matter. It was just preseason. Wait till the regular season starts. That's what they do. That's why I say stop doing it. Stop putting the cart before the horse. Let the kids go out there and play.
Gotta play.
And let him put it on wax. Let him put it in the stat book. Then you don't have anything. I know it's sport talk, but everybody's speaking as a matter of fact here, Scotty. Right? Everybody in this world, he's going to do that. He's going to take them to he's going to win the Super Bowl with Cleveland. Cleveland ain't winning sugar honey iced tea, dog. They terrible, bro. And they got nothing to do with Shadeur.
Right.
But I'm saying, instead of people just saying, man, let's put it, man, the dude is balling well. He's doing great when he's in the preseason. Let's see what happens. Let's see how it turns on. Let's see what his pocket presence looks like at the NFL league when everybody's fast and everybody's moving. And he has an NFL line now, right? Because as soon as he take a sack, you know what they're going to say? But he don't have a line. It's always a goddamn excuse.
No, I don't think they're going to say that. They were saying that in college because that was true. He strode a lot with his line. But when I told y'all before
the season started, you ain't got no line. Everybody called me a hater. Yeah, what do you mean? We got Jordan Seaton. We got that. We got this. We got that. And then when it don't come out, well, he don't have no line. If I was an offensive lineman, I would never go to Colorado. You want to know why? Because I'm the first one y'all gonna blame.
No, don't do that. Don't do me like that, because I called him out. Because I told you to do a few times. I was like, look, bro, you hold the ball too long. You got a check down right here.
So it's not the O-line fault then.
Now all the sacks was not.
Thank you.
Even them sacks when he lost like 30 yards, that was not his O-line. He could threw that ball away. He tried to make a play. So sometimes he held the ball. If you want to hit my knock on Shadeur, it's sometimes he hold the ball too long trying to make.
But I don't want to knock Shadeur, bro. I don't want to knock Shadeur. What I'm trying to say is, when it's never anything he does, it's never an issue. It's always blame everybody else, and Shadeur doesn't ask for that. That's the part I don't get about people, dog. Shadeur never said, well, it's
That's
my
what I'm
old line
saying.
for. Yeah, it's y'all. Y'all do this to him.
But
Y'all do this to
that's what
Shadeur.
I'm saying. So for me, I have to come up here and say, like I just said, he held the ball to him. I got to say stuff about him in the past that he did to justify saying about the good stuff that he's doing right now. The lady said the other day, okay, you got two quarterbacks on two different fields. Shadeur is doing good on this field. The other quarterback is average at best.
Mm-hmm.
But they say, oh, the reason why Shadeur is doing good because he's going to get some threes and the fours. What about the other quarterback? They don't bring the other quarterback at all. You know, then they moved Shadeur to the other field, and he still was the best one, like 10 for 12. Oh, now he's going to get some ones and twos. Oh, he did better, but it just don't matter because it's OTAs. But when Myles Garrett don't show up, oh, we need everybody here because this is important. We need everybody here. You're supposed to be a leader. We need you here. How are you letting our team down?
He Myles Garrett, dog.
Oh, this don't matter. This don't matter.
Bro,
So
he's
which one is it? Does it matter or does it
Tiger.
don't matter?
He's Myles Garrett.
So address the people that said he need to be there.
Man,
Don't address me. That's what they said. He needs to
we
be
finna
there. We paying you all this money. You need to be here.
Well, Tiger, I got one more card. No, seriously, the other dude, because guess I got a special guest in the back. Watch this, Scotty. This dude like the family show. Watch this. Hold on, watch this. Watch this.
Hey, Scotty, boy. Hey, Scotty, thanks for coming on, boy.
Man, shut up, man. Listen. I play this for you right here, Tiger. The world's smallest violin plays for you, my brother. As we get ready to roll out of here, listen, I got one caller left. I play that for you, man. I don't understand it, but it is what it is. Scotty, you got one caller, you got to deal.
I got it. I can take one more.
All right, we're going to take one more, and then we're going to get up out of here. That doggone old school in the back. Tiger, much love, dog, as always, dog. Appreciate it. And Tiger the one broke the news about Coach Prime being sick to me, dog. I didn't even have a clue. So appreciate you, Tiger, on that. Thanks, man.
All right, be good, Scotty.
All right, you too, Tiger.
All right, we're going to take this one call right here. We ain't going to stay too long. 8694 on the line. Call or talk to us. Give us your name. Where you calling from?
Nah, we going to be on the phone all night, Coach. You over there talking about, y'all over here talking about Shadeur Sanders not better than Dylan Gabriel and Cam Ward.
Who said that?
Come on, Coach.
See?
What is we talking about? You just on the phone with Tiger talking about Dylan Gabriel is better than Shadeur Sanders.
That never came out my mouth. That never, sir, that never. Say it. Is this you, say it? Say it. Is this you?
Really?
Say it. Is this you? Say it. Is this you?
Nah, this Herb from Texas.
Oh, that's right. Who?
Herb from Texas.
Herb from Texas.
Okay. Oh, Herb. I'm sorry.
Herb.
I'll say this and then, Scotty, I'll let you respond. I know you got a room. That never came out of neither one of our mouths that one was better than the other.
Never said that.
Somebody said, yes, it did. No, it did not.
It did come out there. Y'all was just over here defending it.
All I said was, why do you have to tear down Dylan? You're tearing down Dylan Gabriel to build Shadeur up. When that's all I said. That had nothing to do with saying that Dylan Gabriel was better than.
Yeah, but what y'all just saying now, Shadeur talking about how he got smacked by Mormons and all that?
Oh yeah, he did.
They got it. Nobody said. Okay, if I would have said, no.
Y'all argument, right? Correct.
But it had nothing to do with Dylan Gabriel. We said that BYU whipped they behind. Now, if we would have came in there and said, if Dylan Gabriel was on Colorado, he would have beat BYU. We didn't say that. We just said a fact.
He would have got his ass whooped first.
Exactly. So
Colorado ain't had no offensive line.
Oh my God.
And let's keep it 100.
Oh my God.
When all them offensive linemen came in the transfer portal, talking all that shit, talking about like we ain't gonna have 50 sacks this year like that last year line did. What happened?
What happened to the Dutch? Hey, what happened to the Benson? Don't touch too merchandise. Huh? What it should have said was don't touch him too much. That's what the shirt should have said.
Yeah, that's what they should say. They did all that talking and really didn't back it up.
But that's my point with y'all. Y'all let the people come and do all that talking. Y'all heard. Y'all come in here, let the people do all that talking. Khalil Benson didn't give up one sack when he was at Indiana. And then when they leave, then y'all trash them.
Fact.
Because y'all put the cart. Hold up. Because see, and that's the funny thing. It ain't never one of y'all, but y'all put the cart before the horse. No, when Khalil Benson come in here talking about don't touch two, man, y'all cats, y'all so amazing because y'all get the high. I know it's always I. It's always I when it comes to the individual, but we can't say. Would you agree that people then put the cart before the horse and said the O-line was going to be much better this year, and everybody, Khalil Benson ain't give up a sack in a collegiate game and don't touch two, and then when he leave, guess what y'all say? He trash.
So you say y'all, that means I'm excluded from there, right?
No, you included. You just came in here talking about, they didn't have no offensive line coach, and you knew that.
I asked you a question. Okay, I'm asking you a question. I'm asking you. You just said their O-line was trash. Wasn't Khalil Benson on the O-line?
Coach, how many sacks they give up?
40 something.
How many sacks?
40 something. 40 something. I said 40.
It was like 50 something.
No, they gave up 40 something this year. It was 50 something last year.
So what? 10 less?
Okay, I'm just telling you. So, are you saying that the O-line is trash?
The O-line was trash.
So therefore, you saying the people on the O-line are trash, and therefore you saying Khalil Benson is trash, and you just said I don't trash the players. The same fact that we just said that BYU beat Colorado, and you try to somehow make that we said Dylan Gabriel better than. But then I can't use the same example. Hold up, but I can't use the same example. But I can't use the same. But I can't use the same example that if you call the O-line trash, in essence, you calling Khalil Benson trash because he was on the O-line. I'm just trying to make sure I understand the rules of the game here. Am I right, Scotty, or what?
That's all about right to me.
O-line as a general unit is trash. I did not say Khalil Benson.
And we said Colorado got their butt whooped as a general unit against BYU.
If he's part of the unit, that means he would be trash. Like, that doesn't even make sense. If you're saying the O-line is trash.
Khalil Benson didn't even play some of them games. What are we talking about?
Because they benched him.
Exactly. So if he on the bench, he can't be sorry if he riding the bench.
He's on the bench because he's sorry.
He's sorry.
What is
Herb, stay off the herbs, Herb. Stay off the herbs, Herb.
Jesus Christ.
If you were a starter, listen. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna give you a better one. Kenny Pickett, Joe Flacco said, I don't want to play no more. Kenny Pickett start the season and Shadeur take over. What does that tell you about Kenny Pickett?
Yeah, he wasn't good enough to make it.
Okay.
He probably losing games.
Khalil Benson started. Khalil Benson started the season, right?
Yeah, but was they also rotating their line around like
oh my gosh, bro.
Okay.
Come
Herb, I love it, dog. Scotty, say your last piece. I'm gonna let you ride.
Y'all don't want to talk.
You're not answering the question. You already know it. You just don't want to admit it.
I want my boy Juan. He said Scotty can't be trusted. He don't like Carson Beck. Man, listen, Carson Beck at Georgia was ass. Okay, I don't care what nobody said. Alabama was ass. But yeah, man, this is a great show, Coach. We should do this more often. You know, I love talking about some prime.
I can't let you lead talking about my quarterback, dog.
Oh, yeah,
that's my quarterback, man.
Carson Beck is ass, man. He's not that good.
Bro, he ain't lose but 3 games in his whole year in 2 years. He lost to Alabama twice. Listen, Herb, say your last piece. I've been talking Scotty off, and I'm gonna finish out taking. Unless you want to hold on, he got to go. So I'm saying, let me do this. I'm gonna put you on hold. I'll finish arguing with you a little bit because I know we have fun. But let me talk him off because he got to run. I know I'm well over my time, man. We've been on a 2.5 hour. All right, hold up. So hold on, Scotty. Hold up, real quick. He lost to Alabama twice, and he lost to what? Who was the other team? I forgot who it was. Georgia, I believe.
Okay.
No, he wasn't Georgia.
This is my thing when it comes to Carson Beck. It's not because I think Carson Beck is he's a representation of his team, right? So it's like it kind of reminds me of them old Alabama quarterbacks where are they really as good as they are because they had all the talent around them? You know what I'm saying? So you kind of like, you don't really know what you have. With Carson Beck, you kind of start seeing the holes throughout the season. You're like, yo, he's putting Georgia in some bad spots, just bad picks, bad decision making. So I don't know if you put him with Miami, which are defensive issues, how he helps you guys get better at the core as a team. Because if you're telling me he's putting Georgia in bad spots and Georgia's a better defensive team than you are, I don't see him really helping Miami too well. That's just my personal opinion.
All right, I'll just say this because I know you do got to go, and I don't want to be late with this point. I would have thought the same thing until I just did a show. You can actually check it out. Okay. I actually went through Carson Beck's highlights and lowlights. They had it on YouTube. They had his highlight tape and his lowlight tape. And I had to be honest, I didn't watch a lot of Georgia football last year.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at the numbers can throw you off. Back to the Big Tiger's point. Of the 12 interceptions he threw, I want to say 8 of them were batted. They were batted at the line. They were tips. They were interfered with. They weren't just broken on. Not making an excuse, just making an observation. I think a lot of that is because of his peripherals. He doesn't anticipate how defenses are playing. He see a guy open, he see the guy covering, but he doesn't see the low hole player coming across. He doesn't see the insulator and all those different things. I think Miami's going to ask of him just what you were asking for Shadeur at Pittsburgh. I don't need you to win it for us. Just don't hurt us.
Just don't hurt us.
Yeah, just don't hurt us. I think he's going to get a lot of perimeter throws. For some reason, he's not a shorty.
Oh, he's
but
tall.
For some reason, a lot of his passes are batted, and I think it's 2 reasons. It's not him throwing the ball. He throws over the top. I think it's the depth of the routes. The routes are only 5, 7, 8. When you look at those routes, the closer they are, he can't go like this on an 8-yard right.
Yeah.
And if you look at the defenders, they're not pass rushing them. They get their hands up and they put their hands in the lane. So hopefully Shannon Dawson takes a look at that and understands why interceptions occur. Because that's how you fix interception. You have to understand why they occur. Right? What did you see and why did it happen? Or what didn't you see? Remember, I told you back to what you don't say. What didn't you see?
Yeah.
I know you saw the dude standing there, but what you didn't see. But that's neither here nor there. Scotty, brother, I enjoyed this. I know we've been in the making for a long time doing stuff like this, man. I'll tell you this. I'm here every Tuesday at 8:30. You can either call me before or you can show up at 8:29. It don't matter to me, dog. It's the invitation. The invitation is one and the same, or you can show up at 10:39 and say, "Hey, Coach, give me the link. We gonna pop on." I ain't got no problem with it, man. Like I said, I enjoy it.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go watch some Carson Beck film. I'm gonna go watch the highlights and lowlights.
Watch the highlight, lowlight we did, and let's talk. I mean, look at the video I did. It's got it's a Miami show. It says time to, I think Carson Beck. It says Carson Beck highlight, lowlights.
Okay, yep. I'm gonna check that out, and then I'm gonna come back. All right,
let's do that.
All right, let's do
that. Scotty, man, let the people know where they can find you, man.
Hey,
and thank you for everybody that came through on his side.
Hey, appreciate y'all. Y'all can find me on Offscript, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram as well. Make sure you go you subscribe to all the platforms, man. I appreciate you, Coach. Keep doing your thing, guys, and keep it real, Denver sports. It's gonna be a rough year in Denver. That's all I'm gonna say. Appreciate you.
Much love, dog. Appreciate you, Scotty, man. All right, man. My man Scotty from Offscript. Y'all check him out. Take care of all the HBCU news content. Like I said, I had the opportunity to run into him when it came to Coach Prime leaving from Jackson to Colorado. And you know, the algorithm was going nuts, man. The show is entertaining as all get out. I can tell you this. I watch it because he got that little gun button in that blast, and he be shooting cats all show. Kind of just like I be slapping cats. It's like I'm finna slap Herb here. And I got Lexus in the back. And check out the furniture. He's been back here all show.
You ain't got nothing. That's what you got, nothing. Hey, thanks, Scotty.
You been crying, dog? You been crying? So you been crying?
About what? Crying about what?
Dun-dun-dun. The number you dialed is no longer in service. Man, get off my line. Lexus, I'm coming to you. I'm finna lock this thing up because I'm getting out of here.
Conference has been locked.
Let me finish cooking up Herb a little bit. And then Lexus, you're gonna finish us out because I know I brought your name up, so I know that's why you showed up. All right, Herb, let's finish this thing off a little bit, man. We ain't gonna be long. Herb, going one. All right, talk to me.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just seen it that y'all was just trying to downplay Shadeur Sanders, and I just didn't like it. I just didn't like it.
But what did we say? Tell us what we said.
What you mean? What y'all say?
I agree. I said I want him to be on the practice squad because that's my way of him leaving Cleveland. So that's the first thing I've said that I can admit to that was a real hater statement. But my haterism has a purpose. It's for him to leave that god-awful organization. So yes, I'm guilty of hating.
Why would you want him to suffer like that? I don't want him on the practice squad. Just cut him. Just cut him.
Okay, we'll cut him then. Whatever. That's fine.
You want the man, Coach, you want the man to suffer on the practice squad? Really?
I was just saying.
Sanders.
All right, I'm sorry, dog.
On the practice
okay,
squad?
I apologize. Cut him then. I apologize. Cut him. All right, cut him.
Come on, man. Go ahead, Coach.
I said just cut him then. You're right. I apologize. He shouldn't suffer. Cut him.
Yeah, come on. Want the man to suffer.
Okay. So I'm still waiting.
About what did y'all say about Shadeur?
Yeah, I'm still. You saying that we was hating on him? What did we say?
Yeah, y'all was trying to make a case that Dillon Gabriel was better than Shadeur Sanders.
How?
And y'all tried to put up OTA numbers that because Dillon Gabriel went 50% in OTAs or minicamp or whatever. Talking about that, there's no correlation. If he doing 50% in shorts, what you think they gonna do in full pass?
Who said that? Hold on, wait a minute, Herb.
Y'all said, bro, y'all said that when y'all was just on the phone with Tiger.
Tiger called in. That's it. Tiger called in, and again, he said that Dillon Gabriel had 50% and Shadeur, I don't know what it was, 75, 80%, whatever it was. And only thing Scotty said was the strength of his game doesn't show up in 7-on-7 because of his ability to run. How is that hating on Shadeur? We didn't say that he's gonna have better numbers than.
Y'all was using it to boast y'all case. And Dillon Gabriel is really not a scrambler. He's more of a system quarterback. A quarterback that can play efficient in a system. That's what he's done at UCF. That's what he done in Oklahoma. That's what he did at Oregon.
Okay, fine, no problem. But who said that Dillon Gabriel was better than Shadeur?
Y'all did.
Who?
Y'all did in Berkeley. You and Scotty.
How? I'm trying to understand how, brother.
What you mean?
You still haven't told me how.
I just told you how.
Okay, since you said that because when I brought up the whole general statement, Scotty ain't here to defend himself. So let's talk about me. What did I say? Because I can defend me. What did I say? Since you know how because you quickly when I brought up the trash thing, or I didn't say it. So because you didn't say it, I'm asking you, what did Coach Hayes say that was hating tonight when I thought I gave nothing but love to Shadeur?
Now it kind of sounded like you spazzing out on him because everybody was making points that you didn't like.
Which was what? Give me specific. I've been on here for 2 hours and 48 minutes. And you're going to tell me in 2 hours and 48 minutes, you can't tell me one thing? Just tell me one thing.
I wasn't on. I've been on for 10 minutes.
So that means now you don't have context.
Huh?
So now you don't have context.
22 minutes and 30 seconds.
Okay, so for 22 minutes and 30 seconds, I'm sure I said something. What did I say in these 22 minutes and 30 seconds?
You said how Colorado fans always make an excuse for Shadeur Sanders. Right? Did you not say that?
Yeah, but that's not hating. That's not hating on Shadeur. I'm talking about y'all.
I never said you did hate on. I never said you did hate on Shadeur. I said I can't believe you said that y'all was making points that Dillon Gabriel was better than Shadeur Sanders.
So what point did I make? And this is my last one.
You already brought up some points.
You didn't make no point. What was your point?
So that Dylan Gabriel is assistant quarterback.
What does that have to do with hating? I'm not understanding. What is that hating? What does that mean?
I didn't say you was hating.
You just
Why you keep saying I said you was hating?
you just said that y'all that included me and Scotty makes y'all were up here hating. You didn't say Scotty was hating. You didn't say Hayes was hating. You said y'all were hating. I'm included in y'all. So I'm asking you, what did I say then? Herb, you got to stop this, though. You got to put that sweet Chiba down, man.
Nah, I got it up and fucking full blast, man.
Yeah, listen. Do me a favor. Don't smoke it from the lit end, right? Don't smoke it where it's hot. Smoke it from the other side. You smoking where it's hot, and you're gonna hurt yourself, man. I gotta run. I got Lexus on the line. Herb, you know I love you, brother. Let's do this again.
All right, love you too, Coach. I just wanted to get on here because I think y'all was going crazy. I just tried to keep wired up for a little bit.
Appreciate
y'all
it,
go
man.
ahead with the show. Appreciate you for your time, man.
Nah, anytime, brother. You good. All right. Let's see what that old clock talking about. You know, you got that old, you know, your grandmama got that china cabinet that got everybody like high school picture in it. And she got her good china in there with the salt and pepper shaker. But one of the tea plate missing. This is the furniture right here.
Hey, you talking about cutting Shadeur? You'll be cutting that eyebrow in a little while. I'm telling you, watch. Every time Shadeur name, bitch, you start blinking with that right eye. And that's the one that's going to get cut off. Well, Tiger, if you're listening, watch. Back to you, bum.
Hey, you want to have a toothbrush contest? You want to have a toothbrush contest? Man, get out of here, man. I bet he don't want to have a toothbrush contest. Bet that. Anyway. Hey, Lexus.
Hey, Coach Hayes. How are you tonight?
Guess what, Lexus? Guess what?
What?
I turned the lights down a little low. I kicked everybody out. Except old school. He's still in the back. He like the chauffeur or something. But don't worry about him. He's just part of the furniture. And as the song say, it's just me and you. Talk to me.
Oh my God.
You like that, didn't you? Huh?
I'm calling because first of all, let me say this comment. I'm on here cracking up laughing at this comment that Lucius Tate made. She said, Scotty must have gotten a vasectomy. He wasn't screaming all night.
Say what now?
She said Scotty must have gotten a vasectomy because he wasn't screaming all night.
What that mean?
You must don't watch Scotty shows.
I do. I love it. Oh, I know. Yeah, but when you're doing other shows with people, you do things a little different. He fine with me. I want him to ride out. No, but Scotty do be getting in. You Bamamas. But anyway, okay, go ahead. So Scotty.
I called in for two reasons.
So Scotty.
To ask you. You said I called because you brought my name up. I didn't hear you bring my name up. What did you say?
So what happened was we were talking about perception of things. And this is why I tell people I have a pretty good memory. We were talking about perception of things. And I said, sometimes the reader creates the perception. Like if somebody writes you a note, sends you a text message. However you read it, in the tone in which you read it in, is how you perceive it to be, when that's not what the sender actually meant. So we're just talking about communication. And so he brought up, he said, yeah, some people type in all caps and you think they're yelling at you. I said, yeah, I got my Lexus, you know what I'm saying? She be typing in all caps. But we had to get that straight. And now I understood. But anyway, that's why I brought your name up. But anyway, go ahead.
Oh, see, I didn't even hear that. So that's not why I called. I called because I didn't like your company.
Who's my company? Old school? He right here. Hold up.
No, Scotty.
Old school, listen.
Oh.
Hey, how you doing, baby? Hey, you tricky. You tricky. I'm good. Hey, I'm good. You tricky.
Man, shut up, old school. We got smell of phone. We can smell your breath right through the phone. You stop it. Anyway, You say you watch Scotty though, right?
No,
I'm saying you watch Scotty, right?
No. I used to watch Scotty until he just went left. Let me tell you what I cannot stand about Scotty. He is blatantly hypocritical. And the reason I say
why you say that? I wish he was here to defend himself. Hopefully he'll watch this part and we'll do a part 2 and I'll have you call in.
Yeah, that's fine. And I can call back when he calls because I can say to his face what I'm saying now. The reason I had to stop watching, he's blatantly hypocritical because he will get on one show and defend, and I'll use Coach Prime because that's what we talk about a lot. Defend Coach Prime to the hill, hang up, cuss everybody out that say something negative about him. And then the next show, he'll be that very person that's saying the negative stuff about it. It's like, you know, sometimes he feel like a nut, sometimes he don't. About
Lexus,
the same topic.
Lexus,
so like,
hold on. Can I say something, Lexus, before you keep going? I know I started it off and I said, you know, I sent everybody home and, you know, it's just me and you. But actually, we live. We still live. We still live right now, Lexus. And when you start talking like that, you throw Coach off.
All right, sorry about the analogy, but you know what I mean. I don't do fickle. Just
I know what you say.
Up and say what you mean what you say.
Is that what you meant? Is that what you meant? Sometimes you feel like it. Sometimes you don't.
I mean, you either like him or you hate him. You know, you just.
But I don't think that's fair. I don't think I'm a person that like or hate him. I think I like Coach Prime.
No, not you. Not you specifically. No, not you specifically. I'm saying, you know, if I care for somebody, it doesn't mean, don't get me wrong, because I'm a person that can love you and still put you in your place. You know that, Coach Hayes. You should know that very well. But
you put me in my place all the time, Lexus. You stop it.
He's very, you know, and he did a little of it tonight. Because at first he said some stuff to say, and Shadeur was trash. And then he said, well, then we know he shouldn't have been, she was better than a 5th round. He said, I said, is he trash? Should he have been better than a 5th rounder? So it's like, hold
on. Because you know I believe in content. And a lot of people do this. I don't recall, and we could go through the tape. I implore anybody, because you can clip YouTube clips now, right? Like you don't have to be me to do it. Like I'm just saying, Lexus, I'm just using it as a teachable moment. If Lexus wanted to go through the video, she could clip, I want to say it's up to a minute of a video of the YouTube clip. Like, and you could send it. You know what I'm saying? Like you could send a link to people, put it on Twitter or whatever. So I just want to make sure I did not hear him say Shadeur was trash. Now he said he did not have a strong arm. He did say that. He talked about mobility, but I don't know if he used the word trash.
He did. He said it, but he was talking about, I think he was talking about a specific game. Maybe you all were talking about the BYU game. I was in and out. I missed some of it. He was talking about a specific game. Said when he was trash. I mean, if I think a person is a good player, if I think they're a really good player, I would say they're a really good player. That does not mean because they're a really good player, they're not going to have bad games, a bad moment, bad pass, bad whatever they're doing.
1,000%.
Right?
Yep.
We know that, right? I mean, Hall of Famers with gold jackets have had bad games. But if you listen to Michael Jordan's story, when I listen to Michael Jordan's story, Michael Jordan said the reason why he was so good is because he failed more than he succeeded.
Okay.
That's what his book said.
Okay.
And then he recovered from his failure. It wasn't how he failed. It wasn't the fact that he failed. It's how he recovered from it.
Okay.
How many times he got down? How many times he got up? He said people always talk about the winning shots I made. Nobody talks about the ones I missed. So that's what made him the best basketball player to ever dribble a basketball, in my opinion. So therefore, of course, we're not going to sit up here and say because somebody was good or even great, whatever word you want to use, that they didn't have bad days, bad times, bad games. We all do.
So can I ask you this, Lexus? And first of all, Mr. 64 said that he was trashed against BYU. So maybe that's what you heard. He said he was trashed against BYU, which in essence, he was 16 for 23, 208, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. But that's regardless. Let me go through this. I love what you just said. I love what you just said. But do you think that same thing applies for Dylan Gabriel?
Yes, I think it applies to everybody.
Thank you.
I think Dylan Gabriel. I personally think Dylan Gabriel was from what I saw with my own eyes, because I'm not a person that like to go about what nobody else see. I like to go look for myself. What I saw with my own eyes, I think Dylan Gabriel was a very solid quarterback. I really do.
Okay.
I think he did well. He proved that on the field. You know, that's the only way I'm gonna judge it. It's about what you do on the field, not what you do in a practice game, not even what you do in preseason. Because we know preseason and the real game ain't the same. Let's just be real. We know practice. You know, it's kind of like I used to listen to commentators sometimes talk about when a field goal kicker missed a field goal. And they say, boy, I'm surprised he missed that from 45. He hit it from 60 in warm-ups. He didn't have a defense in front of him in warm-ups.
Sound like you hating a little bit on Shadeur.
To win the football game in warm-ups.
Sound like you hate. It sound like you hating. Hold on, excuse me, Lexus. It sound like you hating right now on Shadeur, because basically what you're saying, all the stuff that everybody happy about, what you happy for, it's just practice. This ain't the game. That would have sounded like you saying.
So what you know what I said? I'm saying what I always say. I'll be very clear about what I'm saying. I say what I always say. Unlike Scotty, I don't wish-wash. I like men. I don't like women sometimes. I like men all the time. I don't do those things.
You cheating on me?
What I say. I say I don't care about who it is. You put Shadeur name on, you take his name. Everybody talking about Shadeur, but I can take any name, any player. I don't care who it is. And if they're practicing or having a preseason game, I don't care if they throw for 1,000 yards. I'm not going to be impressed unless they get in a live football game against some defenders and do the same. I don't care. It's kind of like the field goal kickers example I gave. You know, it's like, I'm surprised he missed from 45 when you kick him to win the football game with all the pressure in the crowd against you, because in warm-ups, he kicked for 60. He was in warm-ups. Wasn't no pressure. Wasn't nobody on the field but him. Wasn't no crowd screaming miss, miss, miss. And wasn't no defenders throwing their hands in the air trying to block it. So, of course, I can hit from 60, but potentially with that situation, can you hit from 60 in a football game where your field goal will determine whether or not you win or lose it? And the fans are against you, and defense is coming at you. So
back to what I was saying. Hold on. So back to what I was saying was, back to what I was saying. Tiger called in and said that he was 40 for 50 right now. So that don't mean nothing because it ain't no game. Can he do it in the game?
Who was 40 for 50?
Shadeur was 40 for 50 so far in practice. Shadeur.
Okay, but then he had a good practice.
I know, but I'm
not
saying
giving out gold jackets because he was 40 for 50 in a practice.
You sound like a hater to me. You sound like a hater to me now, Alexis, because you sound like a hater. He was 40 for 50. The first round, hold on, the Super Bowl winning champ quarterback ain't do it. The first round pick in Kenny Pickett ain't got that percentage, and the third round pick don't have that percentage. And Shadeur is 40 for 50 right now. And you talking about we ain't giving out gold jack. You sound like you being a little hater to me. I'm just saying.
What I want for Shadeur, I wish Shadeur nothing but the best. I hope he can get out here against this sorry football team. And anybody that know anything, I'm talking about an ounce about football, know the Cleveland Browns suck. Let's just come on. Let's just keep that 100. He probably couldn't have been on
like his
on the worst team.
Like,
okay,
100, like the records he broke.
This credit. Let me give Shadeur this credit. He is the very reason that we even having a conversation and allowing the Cleveland Browns to come out of our mouth.
There you go.
Let's give him that credit.
For sure.
I don't think nobody would be talking about no Cleveland. They would talk about any team in the NFL before they talk about the Cleveland Browns.
That's right.
If Shadeur wasn't on it. So if you want to give some dap, there it go. There his dap. I wouldn't watch the Cleveland Browns if Shadeur wasn't on it.
Right.
So there you go. He gonna draw some. Cleveland gonna get some more viewers. I ain't gonna say fans because I'd never be a Cleveland fan. Let me make that clear.
True story.
He'll get some more views because he's playing or he owns the team. We gonna see if he play. I don't know.
Right.
So, but back to Dylan, your question regarding Dylan Gabriel. Of course, he and anybody else in that position go, like you said, go catch unnecessary scars because bullets, if
Strays,
you will,
the stray
because
bullet.
he got drafted above him.
Right.
And we all know he's not as good at it. Anybody that knows football and knows quarterback know he's not as good as him. However, having said that, Dylan Gabriel ain't no slouch either. He's not some little piss poor quarterback that they just decided to draft before Shadeur. He's not that either. He's performed well. Now, granted, I will say this. Yes, he's been on probably better teams, better coaches, better offense, better stuff like that. So he's
better coaches. What you mean better coaches? Colorado ain't got nothing but gold jacket coaches. Better coaches. Stop. You hate them.
Better teams for sure.
You hate them.
But again, like I say, you can't blame him for that either. Okay, come on. If he got picked to go to a better school, whatever. You got to play with the hand you dealt. And sometimes the hand you dealt, like any real good player like myself, no. Sometimes you got to win with a bad hand. Okay.
Trying to tell you.
And the truth of the matter is, we all know Shadeur has been dealt a bad hand as far as the team that he ended up on.
Don't know about that.
The only one, like you said.
Yeah, don't know about that. Can I say this?
Say this.
There was a very important part that was in the making of that team. That team did not have to necessarily look like that altogether. We could always connect the dots going back, looking backwards, but it definitely could have been created a little differently because there was direct connection with his dad on how that team was created and built. Let's call it what it is. His dad picked that team. His dad picked those guys. That team was created through his father's vision. Is that fair?
Well, we can say that about our own coaches. We can say that about Cristobal with Miami.
That's right.
We can say that about
so when people
with Georgia,
I agree. No, but when people
say that about we can say that about our whole team.
I agree, but when people say, but when you said that he was dealt a bad hand, I don't necessarily know if he was dealt a bad hand. That was the hand in which he picked. He didn't have to. That team didn't have to look like that. I'm just saying it didn't. That's all. I'm gonna leave it there because it didn't have to look the way it did.
Colorado was so bad that they can't do nothing but get better. They had no choice.
That's not true.
But to get better.
Yeah. But what I'm saying, okay. But that's a different. What I'm saying that's my thing. That's a whole different argument. Everybody loves to say, "Oh, they were so bad. They were so bad." Well, there's a bunch of teams, but there was
you wouldn't have been talking about no Colorado if it wasn't for them going over there. Just like you won't be talking about the Cleveland Browns now. If you do that, they got drafted by.
I told y'all I'm a businessman. Guess what?
I forgot Colorado had a football team.
Guess what? I told y'all I'm a businessman.
When's the last time they've been on TV?
Well, I don't
Come
know.
on now, don't play those games.
No, but
when the last time you heard
you're
anybody mention them before Coach Prime was there?
But you're missing my point, though, Lexus. What I'm saying is,
no, you missing mine.
No, you're not. But you're not listening to me, babe. Listen to what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, when people try to create the certain narrative, you have to also remember his father was the primary maker of that team. It's not like he was stuck with that team. He erased a lot of those people off that team. Fine, that was his choice. I'm not blaming Prime for what he did or didn't do. I'm just telling you that he had the power to or not to do it. That's all I'm saying. He didn't have to get rid of everybody. He didn't have to cut everybody. He chose to do those things, or those players decided to leave. And the players that they brought in, I don't think they really went after real offensive linemen, especially that first year. And that second year, I don't think they went after offensive linemen either. They went after a lot of skilled guys, and they kind of neglected the trenches, and it went to show. So when everybody said, "Well, that O-line was bad," well, it was kind of created that way because you didn't put your resources where it really mattered. You rather have 15, 20 wide receivers.
You can say that about a lot. I agree, but you can say that about a lot of teams.
Yeah, but the difference is, it's not a father-son duo. See, people are trying to separate that Shadeur was put on a bad team. But
we're so happy to be talking about Shadeur, but I can say that about a lot of players. I said that about Dylan Gabriel. He ended up having some, I ain't gonna say no superstar teams, like no national championship team, but some pretty solid teams that he was on. Whether he chose to go, whether he transferred, whether they sent them, I don't know what happened to his life because I don't know his life.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm saying he had some opportunities on some
right
good quality teams.
And-
I ain't gonna say they were necessarily, and I can say that about a lot of players. We just so happen to be talking about Shadeur, but I'm not a person that's stuck on just talking about Shadeur and Colorado, nobody all the time. You all do that quite well.
I do it every
I'm
Tuesday.
saying
That's
that
it.
about players in general.
I
that
know.
they end up sometimes, whether they decide to go in the portal, especially now, when they decide to go in the portal, whether they get kicked to your point, whether they get kicked off the team, whatever the case may be. They may end up, when I say it's just a cliche saying when I say deal with the hand that you was dealt. But of course, obviously sometimes that hand you were dealt, you had some hand on some hand sometimes in picking that hand.
There you go. That's all I was saying.
That with some players, because some players end up where they end up because of other reasons, and whether they like it or not, it was what it was. Some players get to say, I'm the boss. I pick where I'm going because I'm this, like y'all like to say, superstar coming out of college. I'm a 4-star. I'm a 5-star. So, I get to pick where I'm going and all of this nonsense. So, I have a problem with that because they ain't no star till they got that play like one to me. But, nevertheless, because they in those kind of situations, then they get the opportunity to, and some of these colleges fall for all that garbage, and they get the opportunity to go where they want to go. And these schools come at them, and nowadays write them big fat checks before they even put their jerseys on.
Okay.
So yes, sometimes you get to pick your own hand, and sometimes somebody give you a hand and say, now play with it, and make sure you play good.
You play spade? Would you play spade high?
Just in general.
Joker, deuce. What you play? How you play? Joker, deuce, spade. How you play?
I play. I got to play with the jokers, but I can play either way. I can play with them, without them. I can play deuces wild, deuces not wild. Whichever way you want to call it, I will play and whoop you either way you do.
Well, Alexis, call me Deuce because I'm wild. Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. I forgot we still live.
You alive? You got to remember. You need to remember you live.
I forgot we still live, Alexis. But anyway, I just
want to call you, tell you.
I
just want to call you, tell you I didn't like your company tonight, and that's my opinion.
But why?
And I told you why. I can't stand fickle. I cannot stand fickle. And if you watched him enough, I don't think you watch it like you say you do, because if you watched him enough, it would be you will see it because it's that evident. It's that obvious.
Well, I think you watch him more than you say you do. The way you talking.
Well, remember I told you. Remember I said I used to watch him. I had watched him and I don't know when. I didn't even know if he still had a show till I saw him tonight. The night was my first time seeing him, and I can't tell you when. I said I used to watch him, and when he got that way, when I saw that, I said I don't know what day of the week it is with this boy. So I stopped watching him. So it's been a long time because I can't. I mean, Well,
according to old school, but Lexus,
but,
according to old school, he says he go around telling everybody I'm the same way. Is that true?
No, I was just getting ready to say what I like about Coach Hayes. Whatever it is you believe, right, wrong, or indifferent, whether people agree, disagree, whatever the case may be, and you're going to always have that, no matter what. You can be as right as God is good, and people going to disagree with you. You know that. So what I can say I like about you is you consistent and firm in it. You stand in whatever it is that you believe in.
Well, thank you.
That's all I ask. I ain't say we gotta agree. I just said stand in whatever you believe in. If you like a person, you like them. If you don't like them, just say you don't. Don't say you like them today and then tomorrow when you do a show, you bashing everybody that talk bad about them. When you just bashed them the night before on the show. I can't do fickle. I don't do fickle well. I just don't. And so that's why I stopped watching Scotty and cannot watch him. So it was hard for me. That's why I was in and out on your show. It was hard for me to watch him even here.
Oh my God, Lexus, you're so tough. But I'm
like done.
But see, here's my thing. Here's what I'll tell people, and I said this tonight. I know Herb came on. He's called in before. Quite a few people. One of my biggest pet peeves I have is when people make judgment and they don't have context. And I'm speaking generally here now. People are quick to come in the middle of a show, right? Just talking. We've been on now 3 hours and 15 minutes. They'll come on at 2:45 and they'll have a full opinion about something, because you know how these things go. We'll talk about this, talk about that, and refer back to something that happened at the hour and 30-minute mark. You know what I'm saying? Because we, as people on the screen, we don't know who came in and out and who doesn't remember. That's why sometimes, even as a host, I try to remind people of conversations or how we got to where we are, because I know people come in, come out, just come on. You know, like when I'm not doing a show, I turn it, like as soon as I get off, I'll put YouTube on and I could be watching the show and they're already an hour and a half in. So I don't have all the context.
Right.
But anyhow, I'm big on that. But the problem is people hear one little thing and they run with it. I'll give you a quick example. Miami was getting ready to play Alabama. No, I was doing the fantasy football, which, Lexus, I need you to be on my team this year. I just need you to be the mascot and tell me who to pick. But we'll talk about that later. Shout out to the Coach Hayes Fantasy Football League that'll be coming out here in July. We'll be picking first week in August. But anyhow, all cash prizes. But Miami was going to play Alabama or whatever it was, and I was doing this fantasy league. This Alabama fanatic, young lady, walks into her dad's house. She calls in and give me the business, right? You always talking trash about Alabama. Yeah, but I could tell her neck rolling like, you know what I'm saying? Like Tina Turner, rolling on the rear, neck rolling, eyelashes flapping, finger pointing. I could tell just through the phone. I'm saying that to say she missed part of the context. What she missed was a guy called in. He was an Alabama fan, and I was promoting the fantasy football. And I said, if you so good, if you so big and bad on Alabama and all his players, then why don't you draft all of them in the fantasy football league? And that's all she heard. She didn't hear fantasy football league, blah, blah, blah. All she had to do was rewind the tape about 2 seconds. But she heard that and she went, I'm going to call him on the phone and go off. Man, instead of saying, hey, coach, I missed some of the context. Why were you saying what you were saying? And I could have, you know, there's people have done that before, and I'll quickly explain. You know, I can't go through everything because I know people come and go on the show. But sometimes you end up putting your foot in mouth. So I know I was pontificating and bloviating, as E. Brown said, but I just wanted to talk a little bit. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Listen, you know I'm pretty good at that. You know, usually I will come in and I will say to you, Coach Hayes, I just joined, or I was in and out. So that means right away you're gonna know.
Just like me.
Okay, I missed something. And I might have missed something, to your point, that might be a different context than what I heard, what I did hear, right? Because I may have missed the context behind what, you know, you saying what you're saying. You talking about the fantasy football league. You're not talking about the real Alabama Crimson Tide, because we know the Alabama Crimson Tide college football team, much as I hate to admit it, they are probably go down history being overall, I'm talking about overall, the best team to ever play in college football, thanks the most in part to Nick Saban and his staff. And I know it wasn't Nick Saban by himself. So him and his staff and some phenomenal kids that play some phenomenal football. Point blank, period. You have to give credit where credit's due, whether you like them or not. Like I tell you all the time, I can't stand the Patriots, but hey, I have to give them their just. Because no matter how I feel about them, they did what they did.
For sure.
And ain't nothing to do to change. You can do to change that. And so Nick Saban is my ally. Even though I always respected and actually liked them. Alabama used to be my second team. They never could be before Georgia, but they always was like my second favorite team. Georgia wasn't in it. I was pulling for Alabama. They pissed me off when they did screw up. It wasn't very often under Nick Saban, but
gotcha.
But it happened.
Yeah, well, there it is. I mean, like I said, Lex, at the end of the day, this is all fun. It's all banter, you know, like I said. And I am Shiloh.
Please be clear. That's just my opinion. Listen, people have a right to their opinion. You say it all the time, Coach Hayes. That's why you got all these different shows. That's the wonderful thing about having all these different shows.
Mm-hmm.
You can choose to watch or not watch who you want to watch or not watch. That's all.
I love the people that come on here that hate me, that come every week and leave comments. Them people really want to watch. They just say they're a fan. because I'm their favorite coach. That's right.
And speaking of that, why were you giving Melissa Porter such a hard time? Did she hit a nerve?
No, that's a perfect example. That's a perfect person. Every time Melissa Porter come on, if you go look in the comments, there's always some foolishness. But they come on every show. Every show. Just like Gennario. Every show. They come on I'm talking about as soon as I come on, they be the first one in the chat. I know they love me and I love them. I'm glad they're there. But I'm just saying, I don't know why they just don't admit it. Say, Coach, I love to hate you. Like, why they just don't say that? Just say, Coach, I love to hate you. And I'm cool with that. But Melissa Porter, I really think it's a dude that live in the basement eating Cheez-Its. But
oh my
no,
God.
but
I said, what did Coach Hayes do to her?
No.
Because she was like kind of going in.
No, but she didn't, he, them, they, I don't know what you call them. But what I'm saying is people that always come, that's why I say they have to be miserable in life, that they know my schedule. Think about this. They know the schedule when the shows come on, and they come on here every time, leave a comment. If I don't like somebody, I got other things to do in life than to sit up here and listen to a dude I don't like talk and leave comments when I could be going to do something else productive with my time, money, stay with your family, do something else. But why would you sit there and listen to dudes that you don't like? So I know you really do like me and you just playing that game. So just say, baby, I love to hate you. That's all.
Lord mercy. I think Coach Hayes are really pissed off. My goodness.
Oh, no, it's just because they're constant. And I'm just basically saying, it's okay. I'm extending my hand. Just grab my hand. I'll bring you to the light. I know I'm your favorite coach. Come on.
Oh my goodness. So last thing I'll say.
Shayla, you still on here? You know, change your picture again. You gotta start calling in. But anyway, I don't know. I'm just saying, I have fun with it. I only do it once a week. Like I said, I enjoy it. But some people I just don't understand. I don't understand for entertainment. I don't understand how you could, like, would you go, if you're a person that don't like horror movies, why would you go to the movies to watch a horror movie?
Correct. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Yes, I agree.
That's all.
So
I'm
they
saying.
Really hated you. Why would they keep watching? That's why I say what
that's why I say they love to hate. Now we don't have to always agree, but
right.
Yeah. My thing is this, and they don't have, and I'm saying God didn't put you on this earth not to be productive in some form. And if it's people that don't like Lexus, here's a perfect example, me and you. You don't agree with everything I say, but you come on in. I will hope you enjoy the entertainment value of it for yourself. Maybe you cleaning up, cooking, you just listen to whatever, however you consume it. But I was just saying, but for people that just hate, what would make you stop and leave a comment? Like, but it's whatever.
I agree.
Let me get up off of here, man.
So do we?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Let me ask this last question, Coach Hayes, because I'm, you know me. You always get on me about coming on your show and not talk about everything but your title. So here goes. What is going on? Do we know what's going on with Coach Prime, health wise?
I do.
Your topic.
I do not actually. Shout out to Big Tiger. Okay. He actually told me that about 30 minutes, maybe 30 minutes to an hour before the show started. He said, yeah, man, Coach Prime's sick. I said, no, I ain't know. So when I got ready to start the show, I Googled it. Like when I was getting ready to make the show, the thumbnail and everything, I Googled it. I thought he was playing, to be honest. And so when I Googled it, I saw ESPN had done a report on it. And they were talking about Bucky was speaking about it, saying that he's feeling better, but he's not at Colorado now. He had missed some days from their summer workouts, and he's still in Texas. So they haven't specified what the illness is. I don't know if it's pertaining to his feet. I don't know if it's pertaining to some other part of his body. If it's something totally different that's new, I don't know. But they just said unspecified illness. So.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, if you know what? Somebody did send me a part of a video, and like I said, like you said, when you get the bits and pieces of video, you have to be careful because you can miss stuff. Of Bucky kind of talking about it, just saying he was gonna hang at his home until his dad was okay, and that's kind of all he said.
Yeah.
At least the part I saw. Said more. But I'm just saying
And I'll say this too, and I say this with all honesty. I hate the timing of this because
I do too.
Because this does affect Shadeur as well. It does. It's your daddy, bro. Like, and I'm saying what family matters, right? And you could tell they have a close-knit family. And you're in the midst of trying to perform at a high level. You know what I'm saying? It's almost kind of a replay of, remember, I guess they were at Jackson and the dad had to have his toes amputated. And remember, you're like, Dad, I need you. You know what I'm saying? Now, you can't necessarily have him at the NFL, but to know he's healthy is a little different. But to know he's not and you can't be there, those things take tolls on families, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed. And plus him and of course, obviously him and Shadeur has this, I can still say, special bond, you know. So of course, it's your father. So of course it's gonna impact probably all of his kids and how they feeling right now. So of course it can't help but impact Shadeur. I hope he can push through, as they say, and do whatever he needs to do in practice. I ain't finna watch no practice film. You ain't finna do that. I can't stand Cleveland Browns. They gonna do good to get me to watch a game if Shadeur get to play. I'm not watching all this stuff. If he was 40 for 50, good for him. Good practice. That's all I'm gonna say for that. But I won't watch a tap of it. I just can't.
Here go a perfect example. Lexus, I got to get up off, and you know your name Lexus, so I know you got a little hood in you. I got this girl bothering me, Lexus. I need you to can you fuss her out for me right quick? I appreciate it. Right here, her name Asante C. She wanted be coming on the channel, be hating on the old Kobe. I know she love me. Can you give her the business for me? She always got something to say. Give it a business, Lexus.
Shameful gossip. What does she mean by that?
That's what talk to her. I'm gonna be quiet. Go ahead.
No, I don't even know what that means though. Shameful gossip. She trying to say you gossiping? Or we gossiping?
She trying to say you gossiping. She trying to say you gossip. You a gossiper. Get her.
Why you got these women hating you? What you do to these women? What's going on here?
Because you on the phone talking, Lexus. They a little jealous. They a little jealous, Lexus.
Hating on you.
Get them, Lexus. Tell them you drive a Ford, but your name Lexus. You don't play.
Lord, I don't know what shameful gossip means. I don't know what to say to that. Did you make her mad? Sound like you made her mad. But let's go find out where you live.
She always mad. Listen, she always mad. Asante C. That might be a dude in the basement too, eating cheese doodles. Probably Asante C and Melissa Porter. They might be twins, but they look like their granddaddy. That might be them.
Stop it, Coach Hayes. Stop that. Yeah. Don't do that. Don't talk about the ladies. Just tell them you got to show them some love. They'll be all right.
I try to. I even tell them.
You got to win them back.
I try to. I say thank y'all for coming by. Make sure you hit the like, share, and subscribe button as you leave those hateful comments and those not so well wishing comments. But they always come back, man. They like to play. They keep coming back. So I figure I need to let my lady get them. Get them, Lexus. Get them.
Lord have mercy. Yeah, this. What you be doing to these ladies? It's something I don't know. I done missed some content, as you like to say.
Well, I'm gonna say this before I get up out of here, Lexus. Ladies, my Mercedes hold 4 in the back, but 2 if you're fat. Hey. So with all that being said, man, let me get up out of here. Lexus, don't hang up. Listen, I need to make sure you got that hot water cornbread ready for your boy when I get off here. But listen, make sure y'all go ahead and hit the like, share, subscribe button, man. Appreciate my man Scotty from Offscript, who takes care of a lot of HBCU content and some other things, man. He talk everything from sports to what's going on in the president's office. We talked about that. I'm gonna leave that alone. But anyway, man, bunch of love to everybody. Make sure you hit the like, share, and subscribe button. It's Colorado Tuesday. Tomorrow we'll be on for Miami Wednesday, boy. Miami just picked up some big time recruits out of high school, unlike some other folk. But anyway, back to what I was saying. We got
that's shady.
That's shady. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. That was a little shady. That was shady. I threw shade. That's not hate. That's just shade. I just threw hate. That was shade.
It's shade.
It was
hate.
shade.
Hate is a little strong.
Yeah, that was a little shady. But it really was a shot at. Anyway, let me do my closing. But with all that being said, it is what it is, man. And we're going to have fun with it, man. Again, all well wishes to Coach Prime, his family, his health, his well-being, and all. I guess people would definitely keep a close eye on that and find out what's going on. And that's what it is, man. Peace.
Yes, get well, Coach Prime. I'm going to hang up and let you close out. We'll talk
I already closed out, Lexus. Tell that girl Asante C, we don't play no games around here. Tell her you got Vaseline and you gonna take your earrings off. You ain't playing no ready. You got potash and pee to throw on her. Tell her, Lexus. Tell her. That's right. Shoot. Oh, she hung up? Lexus? Lexus? Dang. I guess she gone. Bye, y'all.